It's time for Indy Fuel Hockey. Today's game is brought to you by Abrams Eye Care, Dr. Biggerstaff and Otto Laryngology Associates, Body and Soul Massage Therapy, Control Tech, Gallagher Chiropractic, and Community Health Network. Now let's head to the rink for all of today's exciting play-by-play.
Indy Fuel Hockey is on the air from high atop the Fishers Event Center in Fishers, Indiana. It's hockey after dark tonight as the Indy Fuel...
After dark is emphasis on dark.
Very after dark here as the Indy Fuel take on the Wichita Thunder. It is 9 o'clock. Normally we'd be describing an exciting third period. Right now the Zambonis are currently resurfacing the ice after the most bizarre warm-up I think we have ever seen.
The most bizarre day we've ever seen. Let's just back
for
it up.
certain. And so the reason why we are coming to you now is because there was a transformer that blew
Optimus
at about
Prime.
5:50 this afternoon, about 30 minutes before warm-ups were supposed to start. We had a power outage for about an hour and 50 minutes. And then after that, you had to have time for the ice to reset because the cooling equipment wasn't working for nearly 2 hours. And so we are looking at a 9:15 face-off, 2 hours and 15 minutes after the scheduled time. But we are going to get hockey in tonight as the Indy Fuel take on the Wichita Thunder. Along with Eva Hallman, I'm Andrew Smith. And not only that, but there was confusion on when the game was going to start. So the Fuel took warm-up, and they headed off expecting a 9 o'clock start. And then Wichita came out and took warm-up, and that just ended. So it has been an absolutely bizarre evening tonight. But we will have hockey for you between the Fuel and the Thunder, and the Fuel coming in.
Thunder a little ironic today.
After a little bit of a they struggled on Saturday night, lost 2-0 to Iowa, but they had won the two previous games. Wichita comes in after splitting two games on Idaho last week. And one thing we look at this Fuel team, they want to play a very defensive forechecking game. Wichita, they want to get up and down the ice, and they've got some guys that can put the puck in the net. They may have one of the most dynamic lines in the league, with Mikkel Stenell, Peter Bates, and former Fuel player Jay Dickman. But I think if you're the Fuel, I think you want to continue to do what you were doing on Tuesday and Friday and the first 10 minutes of Saturday's game against Iowa. And if you do that, I think it's going to be good. But I think the big thing right now is just come out to, you got to just, after sitting around for 2 hours, I think just come out with a lot of energy to start this game.
Yeah, coming out with energy is going to be key today. And the Fuel did play, I would say, about an hour of sewer ball, and it was a whole team sewer ball. Usually only about 8 to 10 of the guys on the roster play sewer ball, and this was a whole team effort. Obviously, they had to move locations because the lights were out, and so they found this wide open space, and they did it with everyone. And I think that for them, it's also like one of those games where it's like a team bonding experience. Like, hey, we went through this. Like, hey, like we had the power outage. We didn't know what was going on, but we got through it together. And so I think that's going to be super key today. But, yeah, energy is going to be huge. It is 9:06 p.m. For Wichita fans. That's pretty on time for you for a puck drop. For us Indy Fuel fans, not as much. So, yeah, energy is going to be huge. And then the start, it's always been important for the Fuel, but I think in this weird, wonky game especially does.
I think that is the case. Well, several hours ago, we had a chance to chat with Indy Fuel assistant coach Stefan Thorne. Here are his thoughts on our coach's report.
The Indy Fuel back home tonight to begin a 3-game set against the Wichita Thunder. Our pregame show continues with a conversation with Indy Fuel assistant coach Stefan Thorne. And Coach, you've got Wichita coming in, a team from the Mountain Division. Every division kind of has its own style of hockey, but how good is it to have that change of pace where you're not facing the same teams over and over? You get to see somebody a little bit different than the guys you've been hitting the last couple of months.
Yeah, like you just said, like the kind of the fresh setting of a new team. Yeah, it's great, but at the end, what I'm going to end up saying is like we just got to play our game against any opponent, and once we do that, we just need to keep establishing ourselves for possible playoff run here, and that's kind of the biggest thing is playing our game. It doesn't matter what team we do play, but you know what, for me as the new guy on this team, it's good to see a new team and seeing how different coaches have different styles. So.
Well, we talk about different styles. They seem to be a team that likes to play a little bit more of an up and down game. A lot of shots on goal. They give up a lot of shots as well. Just play with a lot. How important is it to really maintain your structure against a team that's really going to be trying to fly the zone and push the puck up the ice?
Well, it's you know what, we've already kind of experienced that being against Rapid for 6 games, 3 games here, and then 3 games in Rapid City. So they're very similar in that sense, and it's kind of the one thing that we got to make sure we're staying focused on is making sure we are playing our game, but not getting bored of how we're playing it. And if we do get quite a bit of shots, let's not get frustrated with maybe not getting the outcome right away, but just like you said, sticking to it. And but the biggest thing is we've already seen this type of game before, and now is just making sure that we have a better outcome.
It's kind of what happened on Saturday night. You were all over them the first 10 minutes, hit a crossbar, had an early power play. Then they get kind of a fluky first goal, and it just kind of felt like they'd grab momentum a little bit from there.
Well, like from our end, we didn't do the thing that we needed to do to consistently get ourselves into the blue paint and kind of get in dirty. It was for me on the coaching side, it was kind of a boring game where it was just like, okay, like it's just going to be law our way through this game instead of forcing the fight and making things happen. Right. I think with this week and having conversations with the group, that's kind of our big focus is like play a 60-minute game, like just work whatever result happens, but as long as we're working, there's a very good chance that our result will be positive.
Yeah, I look at that game Saturday night, and in the third period, you're struggling to really generate a lot. Matt Petgrave kind of takes things on his shoulders, skates through the D, gets himself a great scoring chance. Yep. Terry Broadhurst did the same thing a little bit later on. How important is it to have those veteran guys kind of step up and be leaders on the ice during a game?
Well, let's just lead by example, right? We depend on those guys huge, and especially with a group of we do have a big group of rookies, and I guess they're not rookies anymore with the season going into the third part of the season. So, but it's just keeping showing them that the at this point of the season things get harder. Penalties aren't called, so if those guys are able to show up in those kind of moments, but the biggest thing is we just need to put the puck in the back of the net to really ease off some pressure in those situations.
What are your thoughts on Wichita from what you've seen on video?
Oh, they're a very optimistic team. They're going to wait for mistakes on our end, and what we do is just limit our mistakes, but making sure that we're just playing discipline with a good F3 to allow our D to do their thing and staying up and being aggressive. But biggest thing, like I've always said, is whatever team we do play, as long as we stick to our structure, no one wants to play our style of game. So we just got to make sure we're doing that.
What's key to the game tonight?
Like I just said,
yeah,
sticking to what we're all about, and then playing to our structure, playing to our identity. And teams don't like to play that way, that heavy nose, getting ourselves into dirty areas. And as long as we do that, we should be just fine.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
It's Indy Fuel assistant coach Stefan Thorne. Our pregame show continues right after this.
When you're dealing with a sports injury, getting back out there is the first thing on your mind. We know the feeling. Our sports medicine team cares for thousands of student athletes across central Indiana. In addition to physicians and athletic trainers, you'll have access to experts in physical therapy, imaging, and more. And with convenient locations near you, we help make healing as simple as possible. Learn more at ecommunity.com/sports. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Getting set for the face-off of tonight's game between the Indy Fuel and Wichita Thunder. Quite a few Hardy fans have stuck around through the 2-hour electricity delay that we had, or the lack of electricity delay. We've had some interesting things happen over the years, but certainly a transformer popping. And certainly want to give a lot of credit to the Duke Energy crews. Usually it's a 2 or 3 hour process when a transformer pops to get it back online. And they had it online in about 1 hour and 45 minutes. And I think the quicker they got it online, that allowed us to play a game. Number one, because obviously we got the electricity turned on. We could open the the building up, but number two, that was less time that the chiller wasn't working and therefore allowed the ice to set much more easily. The ice appears to be good, and we're ready for hockey this evening here at the Fishers Event Center between these two teams. A couple hours later than expected, but looking forward to what should be a interesting evening of hockey. 3 out of the next 4 nights, these two teams will play each other, playing tonight and then off tomorrow, and then Friday and Saturday back here against the Thunder. And you get a chance to see somebody you don't normally see. This is one of 2 visits that we'll see from Mountain Division teams this season, or this month as a matter of fact, because the Utah Grizzlies will be here in a couple of weeks as well. And when you play those Mountain Division teams, it's often like baseball. You got a 3-game series, and that's what we have here tonight.
Absolutely, and we've seen Wichita the past 2 years, and Andrew, that was my first game with you, was against the Wichita Thunder in 2023, but I remember last year's, I know we were talking about it in our extensive pregame, talking about the last time that we saw Wichita, and while this is 2 very different field teams and very different Wichita teams, I know that the field would like to get off to a better start than they did last time. Obviously, they were both 2 high goal-scoring games where special teams came to play, and especially for the field where special teams have really been a thorn in their side lately. Want to make sure they are ironed out tonight.
Yeah, the Fuel have taken the ice. The Thunder have not. They are just now beginning to emerge from the tunnel. And so about ready for hockey. And I think that's the biggest thing, is how are the teams going to react after having this very long break? And Wichita, they're used to being on the road. And what's interesting, the coaches just stepped out on the ice and then they started waving their players toward the ice, but now they're walking back to the end of the tunnel. So it's a case here where Wichita's in the midst of a month-long 12-game road trip, and they're used to all kinds of bizarre stuff happening. They had some issues in Idaho last week as well with the ice plant there. So both teams have taken the ice, and we are soon to be ready for hockey here this evening. And as the Thunder do so to the
boisterous,
a warm welcome here from the crowd here at the Fishers Event Center. And I think we're awaiting them to take the ice, and then we will turn it down, send it down ringside for our national anthem as the Indy Fuel and Wichita Thunder about to drop the puck. And so let's now send it down to our PA announcer, Kevin Cole.
The singing of our national anthem, presented by Indiana 811. Performing the anthem tonight is our very own Fishers Event Center Senior Operations Manager, Drew Lundquist.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Drew Lundquist, our Senior Operations Manager here at the Fishers Event Center with our national anthem
I was
this
the backup.
evening.
I'm glad I didn't have to be utilized
And
from the booth.
And so you were a woman of many talents. So
I sang it once for a baseball game in high school, and I haven't done it since.
I didn't realize that was one of your many talents. So
It's a hidden one that I like to keep hidden.
well, what is not hidden is the fact that we are playing a hockey game tonight. Our referees are Jack Young and Hunter Moninger, and the linesmen are Eric Frank and Jake Paw this evening. The Fuel will begin in their black sweaters with white trim and white sleeves, and as well as a little red and gold on the trim. The Thunder in the road, white uniforms with black shoulders, black piping on the hems and the sleeves, black pants, and a blue and black logo. Indy will begin with Jesse Tucker, Terry Broadhurst, and Cody Laskowski up front on D. Our Christian Berger and Chris Cameron, the goaltender Mitchell Weeks tonight. And the puck is down, away we go. Gabriel Carriere getting the start for Wichita. It's his second start of the season for the Thunder. He spent most of the year in the American Hockey League, and he handles the puck right off of the faceoff. And the Thunder chop it to the Fuel line. Jesse Tucker back in his own end. We'll drop it off to the D. Christian Berger feeds it up the left side to Tucker, gains center red, and absorbs a check and loses the puck. Back in his own end, Noah Beck, who's one of the top scoring defensemen in the league. They look to headman it to Peter Bates. The pass does not connect, and we have the first whistle of the game. It's an icing call. 31 seconds in to this one.
Well, for the Fuel, that strong start is going to be generated through face-off plays. The Fuel have a key opportunity here to try and generate something, and already seeing some very nice conversations on the ice between some of the Fuel players and Wichita players. I really think that the anticipation of the game just have so much energy now that you got to utilize.
Fuel win the attacking zone draw. Grima, left point, Matt Petgrave tees up a slap shot, and a save is made by Carriere, and he'll gobble it up to get a whistle. Gabriel Carriere, 0-1, allowed 4 goals in his one start. That was Sunday in Idaho. He made 33 saves. In the American Hockey League, he's put up pretty good numbers, 12-8-5 at 2.73 goals against and an .894 save percentage with the San Jose Barracuda. He was sent down last week after spending the year. He spent a lot of last season in Wichita, but Sunday was his first ECHL start in more than a calendar year. Fuel win the attacking zone draw, but it ends up skittering out to neutral ice. Matt Petgrave backhands it up the boards. Owen Robinson back after missing the last couple of games in the lineup. Gives it up to Petgrave. Now to Lee Lapede through center. Dances past a check across the line into the slot. Fires on goal. Carriere makes the save and traps it between his leg pads while he was in the butterfly. He'll hold for a whistle. 19:08 to go. Expect a choppy start here, especially early, as the teams are just trying to get their legs and get into the flow of the game.
Yeah, getting into the flow of the game is definitely going to be something that both teams are going to have to work on getting to it fast. I mean, the winner of today's game is just going to be who can click the fastest. And obviously for Wichita, this is a little more of their time zone of a start time than the Fuel.
Yeah, they're a central time zone. We got a mountain time zone start. So tonight, Rapid City would be very at home if we were playing them tonight. The Fuel have actually played Rapid City 6 times this year. Those are the only 6 games so far against Mountain Division teams. The Fuel will play 12 against the division. Eric Martin has it in the right wing corner in the Wichita end. Banks it down to Paquette. He takes a hit from Jetty, but moves it to Jaden Joseph. Rims it around to the point. Ennis will cycle it back into the left wing corner. Martin couldn't quite handle the puck cleanly. He'll skate it out to neutral ice to make sure the Fuel maintain possession. Siobhan back in his own end to Ennis, being watched on the forecheck by Wallen. Ennis gains center red, high flip on goal, and that's turned aside by the goaltender Carriere, who's made a couple of saves today. And a big hit on Wallen by Chris Cameron separates him from the puck and is also going to earn Cameron a couple of minutes in the box. And now Dustin Manns and Chris Cameron are involved, and Cameron just takes Jack Barr down to the ice. Michael Marcusan is squared up with Wallen as well, and we're going to have some early penalties. 1 minute and 46 seconds into the game. Well, there was a big hit, and one of the Wichita players is in a lot of pain. That's the defenseman Kirby Proctor. That was well behind the play. He was not the guy that took the hit from Chris Cameron, but Proctor is down behind the play.
I feel like there's someone else down.
And
yeah, there's someone else
there's
down.
another player down right at the Fuel blue line, but he's so low to the ice we can't see him. The trainers for the Fuel are out taking a look at him and being escorted over there by the players.
Really hope he's okay. Michael Markuson coming over.
So
More Fuel staff coming over.
Kirby Proctor is down, and he's looking at
He's helping.
who is it that's getting up? It is
Malie.
Jonathan Malie, who
We've
recently
seen before.
picked up from Fort Wayne, and Proctor and the trainer are escorting him to the dressing room.
Really hope he's okay.
Wichita is already skating a man down tonight. They're only playing with 11 forwards. Here's the penalties.
5-minute major penalty for boarding and a game misconduct. Indy number 55 and Wichita number 25 penalty for roughing.
Okay.
Oh.
There is a boarding major, so Wichita's going to get a 5-minute power play out of this. And
Chris Cameron's going to be sent off.
So
Is
Cameron...
Is it misconduct done with the game?
It was game misconduct. Yeah, he announced a game misconduct. So Chris Cameron, looks like the Fuel are going to be without him.
Oh.
Okay, Cameron was skating off. I think they're going to send Cameron. They're going to take Dustin Mans. It was Mans that is getting the boarding major.
And the game misconduct?
And a game misconduct.
Dustin Mans.
And so Wichita is going to get an early 5-minute power play.
That's huge.
A minute 46 in. So also Cameron and Barr got matching roughing minors. Wichita's power play has struggled, but they've got a lot of firepower on their power play. Jay Dickman taking the draw has 11 points on the power play. Peter Bates has 6 goals and 12 assists, and Noah Beck is currently 4th in the league among defensemen with 21 power play points, and he has the puck off the draw. 5-minute power play here early for Wichita. Beck tees one up, deflected on goal. Weeks makes the save, and Matt Petgrave will clear, but we got another whistle.
Another penalty?
And another penalty. And they're going to get Paquette for tripping. It's going to be a 2-minute 5-on-3 for Wichita. So just 9 seconds into the power play, Wichita they get a 5-minute major and a 5-on-3 power play. So a suboptimal start here for the Fuel for sure.
And especially in the early stage of the game where you're just trying to get your footing, this penalty kill is going to be huge.
Back over to the far side. To Stinnell. Now here's a shot from Beck that's blocked in front. Nick Grima tracks it down and backhands it out to neutral ice. Minute 48 to go on the 5-on-3. Bates brings it across the line. Feeds Blackwell at the right wing boards. He fans out to the point to relieve some pressure. Up top for Stinnell. Top of the left wing circle, Beck. Back up top, Stinnell as those two play pitch and catch. Mikkel Stinnell over to back. Left circle. Feeds it toward the corner for Blackwell. He'll take it behind the goal. And it's played back up top for Stinnell over to Bates. Right circle, skates into the slot. Looking to free himself. Feeds Stinnell. Works it low in front. And it goes just wide. Jay Dickman was trying to feed it to Blackwell in the back door and just missed. Here's a shot, save, rebound save as well, as Weeks got the initial shot on Beck and then denied Dickman on the rebound. And a one-timer from Peter Bates from the bottom of the right wing circle is again stopped by Weeks. Fuel couldn't clear. Dickman holds it in. 53 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Drops it off, Stinnell. Bottom of the left wing circle, back up top, Stinnell. He shoots, pad save, rebound save, Weeks, and he covers to get a whistle. He robbed Peter Bates again on the rebound. Mitchell Weeks dialed in here early as Wichita so far with 5 shots on this power play.
Yeah, Mitchell Weeks has been there to save the day over and over. An absolute ace here on the power play unit. Your goaltender has to be your best penalty killer. Mitchell Weeks has just proved that today. I mean, already a handful of really good opportunities instead of by Wichita, but again, he's read them so well.
And the Fuel win the draw. Berger clears it all the way down. So a good clear by Berger. Joseph Berger and Petgrave are the penalty killers. Dickman re-enters the zone. 31 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Up top for Bates. He'll walk the line, feed it over to the far side. And Beck sends it back to Bates, right circle. Try to back diagonal to Stenell, read perfectly by Matt Petgrave, and he'll send it all the way down. 13 seconds to go. Carrier, the goaltender, headmans to Stenell, who brings it across the line. Feeds Bates up to Dickman at the point. Now back across the seam for Bates in front, and Weeks makes a save. He's sprawled out, makes another. And now Paquette's out of the box. Shot from Stenell, turned aside by Weeks on the shot from the high slot. Beck holds it in at the point. Dickman up top, feed for Stenell. Does it connect? Picked off by Broadhurst. Short-handed 2-on-1 for the Fuel. Broadhurst right circle, cuts to the middle. He shoots, and it ends up missing the target. Still 2.5 minutes to go in Wichita's power play. The major penalty to Dustin Manns. And the puck will be played in to the corner. And a centering pass doesn't connect. Proctor holds it in at the left point. He'll skate down to the half wall, feed it up to Nolan Neen. He shoots deflected. It's dancing around at the top of the crease and sent to the corner by Nick Grima. Wichita regains possession, sent toward the crease and sticked aside. Krasa has it along the right wing boards. Up to the left point. Proctor through a screen, fires pad, save made. Fuel couldn't quite corral the rebound. Finnegan back diagonal to the point, and skating in and shooting is Krasa, but it's blocked. Held in by Nolan Neen. He shoots wide. Rebound put wide of the cage by Finnegan. Still 1:39 to go in the Wichita power play, and the Fuel able to clear.
Even with the broken stick.
That was Will Ennis with the clear. Still 90 seconds remain, and the major penalty to Dustin Manns. And Peter Bates will bring it across the line. Jay Dickman is stood up, and a good play by Owen Robinson, and Jesse Tucker clears. 1:12 to go. Wichita on the power play, 20th in the league, 17.8%, but they're 0 for their last 9 in the last 3 games. Here's Bates across the Fuel line. Feeds it over to the right side for Stenell. Back to Bates. He shoots, and another save made by Mitchell Weeks on that shot from along the goal line. And the rebound hit his pad, kind of pounced away from him, and Weeks dove on it to get a whistle. And so the Fuel working on killing off this major power play. Still has 55 seconds remaining on it.
Till they free number 55.
And I think what the Fuel have done, Chris Cameron had to serve his minor, so he sat in the box, and had the penalty ended, he would have come out. He'd have been the guy to come out. Now that we've had a whistle, they're going to send Brett Moravec over to be the person to come out of the box at the end of the penalty. Jack Beck has it. Feeds it over to the far side. Redirected on goal, and just wide. Bates with the redirection. And the puck backhanded out of harm's way by Matt Petgrave and cleared all the way down by Nick Grima. 40 seconds to go in the Wichita power play. Joseph and Broadhurst, the penalty killing forwards, as it's brought up slowly by Noah Beck. Drops it off to Mikkel Stenell. He stick handles across the line, has it poked off of his stick, and Jaden Joseph sends it out to center. Terry Broadhurst one-on-one across the line. Dips the shoulder, fires a backhander that goes high and wide from the inside of the right wing circle. 15 seconds to go in the Wichita power play. Dickman up left wing. He'll wind it in through both corners. Lee Lapede will play it back to the D to Broadhurst, back to Lapede. Lost the handle, and here's a shot that goes wide from Stenell from the right wing circle. Fuel had full possession. The penalty is over. Here's a centering pass, blocked in front. Lapede gets to it, and he tried to clear, but it hit Jay Dickman's skates and banked over to the far corner in the Fuel end.
A good confidence booster for the Fuel with that kill.
Yeah, a big momentum turner when you can kill off, number one, a 5-minute power play, but 2 minutes of it was 5-on-3. Stretch pass doesn't connect with Brett Moravec, so the Fuel iced the puck. Wichita had 8 shots on that sequence of power plays, and Mitchell Weeks was equal to the task.
Yeah, and we cannot say good things enough about Mitchell Weeks. I mean, he's been on fire as of late. I mean, 12, 10, and 5, a 2.62 goals against average. And in 23-24 season, he only played one game against the Thunder. It was an overtime loss. He had a 3.83 goals against average. But those games, they were high scoring. The last 2 years against Wichita, they've been like 5-4 games.
Wichita likes to play a more end-to-end game. We're going to
Yes.
have a false start whistled against Wichita on the face-off, so we'll do it again. They like to play a more end-to-end game. The Fuel, much more of a kind of a heavy forechecking game, and you heard Stefan Thorne say in the pregame, teams don't like to play against us when we play our game, and the Fuel trying to get back to that after falling 2-0 to Iowa on Saturday, where they really weren't able to generate a whole lot of pressure.
Good face-off there by Leela P.
Yeah, good face-off win, and Moravec sprays it into the right wing corner. Laskowski battling for it. Nolan Neen couldn't get the breakout pass through Laskowski, and the Fuel take it back. Siobhan has it right point. Sends it down toward the corner for Moravec. Looked to center, but it was blocked over to the near boards by Proctor, and here come the Thunder out through neutral ice. Krasa plays it into the left wing corner, and the Fuel in. Rimmed around, Terry Broadhurst tips it forward. That allows Jesse Tucker to skate onto it. 2-on-2 across the line with Laskowski. Drops Laskowski. He shoots in and ends up being deflected out of play as it went high and wide of the cage and left the surface. 12:09 to go in the opening period. Indy has killed off a 5-on-3 and a 5-minute power play. We have no score. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Fuel fans, don't let plumbing problems freeze you out this winter. Control Tech has been your trusted home comfort team for more than 40 years, offering heating, cooling, and plumbing solutions. Right now, get $50 off any plumbing service when you mention the Indy Fuel. Call Control Tech at 317-873-3737 today and reboot your home comfort.
When you're dealing with a sports injury, getting back out there is the first thing on your mind. We know the feeling. Our sports medicine team cares for thousands of student athletes across central Indiana. In addition to physicians and athletic trainers, you'll have access to experts in physical therapy, imaging, and more. And with convenient locations near you, we help make healing as simple as possible. Learn more at ecommunity.com/sports. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Now back for more Indy Fuel hockey action.
12:09 to go in the first period. The Indy Fuel and Wichita Thunder are scoreless. And the Fuel went an attacking zone draw, but hunting that pass at the point was Declan Smith, and that forced the Fuel. Now here's a misplay of the goal! The Fuel dumped it in after Smith forced it out to center, and the puck bounced off of the inboards and got caught in Carrier's skates. He had no idea where it was, and he kicked it into his own net. The Fuel lead at 1-0. It looks like it's going to be Nick Grima's goal.
His first goal of the season. No better time than, oh, let's look there. Yep.
Yeah,
Literally
it was
put
a
it in there.
dump in that Carrier couldn't handle. He had no idea where it was, and he ended up
It was his skates.
getting it caught in his skates, and he kicked it into his own net.
Okay, well,
That's a break.
that's some puck luck we've been needing.
So I was just describing how Declan Smith had played it out to center, and kind of not much happening. You just throw it in deep, and then a weird bounce off a stanchion. A Carrier just lost sight of it and put it in his own net. Grima from Petgrave and Broadhurst, the goal. Now here come the Thunder. Krasa shoots, and Mitchell Weeks aggressively up above the blue paint makes the save. Now here comes Paquette through center, up the right wing, hooks a pass backwards, looking for Joseph a little bit too far behind him, but Joseph then retreats back to take the puck away. Paquette shoots, stick save made by Carrier. Berger will wind it in to Chris Cameron along the right wing boards. In behind the goal, Tucker. He and Marcus Sand, both sandwich a Wichita player, comes out of the point for a shot from Berger, stick save made by Carrier. Here's Schultz trying to feed it in front. It's poked away, and Schultz gets it back briefly, but couldn't quite handle it. Beck will spray it over to the far boards, and it ends up deflecting off the top of the boards over the glass and off the surface. We've got a whistle
And it's accredited to Nick Grima, assisted by Matt Petgrave and Terry Broadhurst. So happy for those guys. We talked about both of them, Petgrave and Broadhurst, in the pregame interview with Thorny, and now they're on the score sheet, and Grima gets his first goal of the year.
First goal since February 1st of 2025 against the Greenville Swamp Rabbits for Nick Grima. He's got a lot of assists. He's got 14 assists this year, but that's his first
Grady's
goal.
now 8 points away from the record.
The Robin Press's single-season record for points by a defenseman. He's held that for a long time. Here's Owen Robinson across the line. Dances to the slot. Curls back to the left point. Still on the puck. Shoots. Save, rebound. Put right back on goal by Moravec. Another save. Robinson tries to shoot from the left wing circle. It's blocked. Puck played up to the point, but not out. Berger holds it in. He fires. Robinson trying to provide a screen, but a save made by Carriere. Fuel buzzing. Here's Robinson taking it to goal. Feeds it across Lapide. Couldn't quite get a handle on it. Proctor did a good job of getting in the shooting lane and taking away Lapide's angle. Mikkel Stenell takes a nice hip check from Chris Cameron as he brought it across the line and lost possession. Grima at his own line with 10:10 to go in the first period. Headmans it to Paquette into the Wichita zone. Redirects it into the right wing corner. He takes a hit from Tyler Jetty. And now Jaden Joseph trying to work it free. Paquette to Eric Martin. He fans out, takes it behind the goal. Martin tries to throw it in front, poked away from him. He gets it back. Backhand pass up to Joseph. He feeds it in behind the goal looking for Paquette. Jetty plays it away from him. Up to the point, Petgrave able to hold it in. Here comes Joseph down the middle. He tried to feed Paquette in the left wing circle, but the pass was behind him. Fuel regain possession. Matt Petgrave stick handles through a check, gets stripped up. We play on. Jetty takes the puck. Backhands it out to neutral ice. Indirect feed for Wallen. And he is hit by Nick Grima. The Fuel take it back. Here's a stretch pass for Jaden Joseph across the line. His shot blocked by Beck to the end glass, where it's picked up there by Nolan Neen of Wichita. Wallen up the near boards. Grabbed by Leskoski and played back to the D. Siobhan headmans it back to Leskoski. Quick pass to Terry Broadhurst across the line. Looked to feed it to Tucker in the right wing circle, but that was cleared out to neutral ice by Wichita. Sent back in by Cody Siobhan. 9 minutes to go. Opening period. The Fuel at one time were being outshot 8-3. Now it's 9-8. Here's Blackwell through center for Wichita. Up the far side to Nick Nardicia. And now we have a penalty. And who's it going to be on?
Jesse Tucker, gloves off.
Tucker and Declan Smith are tangled up, both trying to free the right hands. Tucker with a roundhouse right, not sure he connected with it. Now they tie each other up again over to the boards. Tucker tries to get an overhand right. Smith tries to get a jab. Tucker with another uppercut, and they're letting him go. Tucker again, a right to the back, and Smith trying to free the right hand, gets a couple of jabs in. And now the linesmen step in to intervene on that Omnisource scrap.
Don't forget that is Omnisource, one of North America's largest processors, distributors, and managers of scrap and secondary metal, founded here in Indiana.
So Tucker and Smith will both sit for 5, and there was going to be an initial penalty on the play, and somebody was going to get a power play out of this, but nobody was in possession of the puck when the arm went up, and then the fight happens.
I just think it's really funny that despite the delay of the game, the players are still trying to delay the game more with all of their antics.
There's a lot of frustration that boils up, and when you're sitting
Super Bowl
around
did
for
not help.
2 hours, and
You just got to you thinking about the other team. You're like, well, how am I gonna do this?
Well, right now, Smith is in the box for Wichita. And I do not see Jesse Tucker.
I think I see him on the bench.
Okay, they're going to send Smith to the dressing room.
You get a misconduct.
Okay, let's see what the penalties are all about.
Wichita number 92, 5-minute major for fighting, and a match penalty for fighting with taped hands. Indy number 17 is a minor penalty for interference, and a 5-minute major for fighting. Play 4-on-4.
Okay, so a
Is that an
match
advantage?
penalty for Smith for fighting with taped hands. That is something you don't see that much. So Jesse Tucker was going to get the initial penalty for interference, and The match penalty is a manpower penalty. It is a game misconduct as well.
Oh, I see the taped hands right there.
And, yeah, that's...
I didn't know that was a crime.
Yes.
Isn't it an advantage?
Yes, it is an advantage. That's why you can't fight with taped hands.
I learned something new every evening.
And you can see the tape
Yes.
very obviously there. They're going to send Mikkel Stenell over to serve the penalty. Tucker is in the box, and yes, a match penalty is 5 minutes. So what we'll do is we will skate 4-on-4 for 2, and then the Fuel will have a 3-minute power play. Rarely do you see 2 5-minute penalties go on the board in a month, much less in the same period. Well, we've had a wild start to this game.
A wild getting to the game and the start to the game. This is going to go down. Andrew, can this go down in this day in Indy Fuel hockey history?
I think it will probably be brought up in future
Okay.
this day in Indy hockey history.
I'm really excited to tune in one day.
Well,
and we've got the scraper out.
The crowd here that stuck around has been treated to, so far, we've had a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. We've had a
there's
match
blood.
penalty. We've had a goalie kick the puck into his own net.
Which is a little awkward.
Yeah, and it's been, just kind of an interesting start.
I mean, okay, I'm going to touch on a couple stats since I have a minute here. Indy wins scoring first. They're 18, 4, and 5. And Wichita when allowing first, 7, 13, 2, and 2. So, some little stats for your 9:45 p.m. evening.
We're 4-on-4. Wichita has Bates, Stenell, TJ Lloyd, and Noah Beck. That's a lot of skill out there. Here's a shot that hit the crossbar from Peter Bates after Wichita won a puck battle. Bates fires a one-timer high and wide after Wichita reloads, and that shot from the right dot ends up going out of play. So Peter Bates with a couple of really good chances, and he doesn't need much.
No, he does not.
He's got 47 points in 51 games this year, and there, this puck battle at the side of the net, it came to him in the net front, and he ended up firing one right off the crossbar. Fuel win the draw. Nick Rima just fends off a defender, zips it ahead to Lee Lapide. He gains the line, curls out to the boards, feeds it up top. Petgrave shoots and misses high. Petgrave and Grima out there with Robinson and Laskowski for the Fuel. Now Grima just went down to the ice. A penalty coming on Wichita. So it'll be a 4-on-3 power play, and Grima got high sticked, and they're trying to check if it's 2 or 4. They signaled 2. So Peter Bates is going to go for high sticking. So now the Fuel with an opportunity. It'll be a 4-on-3 for 1 minute and 21 seconds. And then it will be a 5-on-3 for the remaining 39.
But for the Fuel, they've struggled on the power play as of late. They're 13th in the league for home power plays, and overall they're at 28th. Their road power play stats really drag that down.
Yeah, the recent power play stats do too. Just
Yes.
4 power play goals the last 17 games, but one of them was a 5-on-3 power play goal against
Fort Wayne?
Iowa on Friday night.
Iowa, yes. You know,
Or no, it was Kalamazoo on Tuesday. It
Yes.
was one of the 2 games last week that they won.
you
Yeah,
know,
they
it's so late. Our minds are a blur.
had the 2 power play goals against Kalamazoo last Tuesday. That was much earlier in the day than this game.
Like 12 hours.
Laskowski to take the draw after Lapide got tossed out of the circle. Wichita wins but can't clear. Petgrave holds it in at the right point. Feeds it over to Laskowski. Fans out of the left wing boards. Back up top for Petgrave. 4-on-3 for the Fuel. Broadhurst will work it back to Petgrave. Broadhurst and Lapide and Laskowski the forwards. Here's Broadhurst with it in the right wing circle. Works it low for Laskowski. Curls and fires one through the top of the crease with the backhand. I think he was looking for a deflection. Lee Lapide has it over to Broadhurst. 48 seconds to go on the 4-on-3. Broadhurst hands off. Lapide, high slot shot, blocked out of play. Good stick by Nolan Neen. to get into the shooting lane and block that out of play.
But a good couple shifts there on the power play by the Fuel, especially when you got guys out there who have just a difference of mix of playing styles. Obviously, Cody Laskowski, known for his speed and his ability just to really get into the zone and get into those dirty areas. Everyone else, just really smart hockey IQ.
Lapide wins the faceoff cleanly. Petgrave has it at the point. Over to the far circle. Lapide backhands it to the corner. Laskowski back up to Lapide along the left wing boards. He'll bring it down the boards, being watched by Dickman, who takes up a lot of space. And Jay Dickman is not a small human. Here is Broadhurst, top of the right wing circle. Backhands it up to Petgrave at the point. He fans out to the right side, brings it back up top. Now feeds Laskowski. 15 seconds to go on the 4-on-3. Works it low. Lapide's pass across the crease was blocked. Lapide gets it back, tried to play it up at the point. It was blocked, but Terry Broadhurst races over to pick up the puck. 5 seconds to go on the 4-on-3. Backhands it up to Petgrave. He feeds Broadhurst, couldn't handle the pass along the goal line. Now it's a 5-on-3 as Eric Martin's out of the box. Laskowski backhands it to Broadhurst in the right wing corner. 5-on-3 for 30 more seconds. Martin up top, Petgrave. He holds, shoots, and it was fought off by Carriere. It ticked his glove. Puck at the bottom of the cage, picked up by Broadhurst. He'll bring it out to the right wing boards. Fuel on a 5-on-3 for 17 more seconds. Broadhurst out high. Skates in, shoots, and it was blocked into the corner. Lapide behind the goal, Laskowski. Back up the left wing for Lapide with 7 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Petgrave into the left wing circle. Laskowski tried to center. It was blocked into the corner, and now it's a 5-on-4 as Bates is out of the box. Petgrave tried to send it goalward, and instead it was an errant pass, and Wichita tried to spring Bates, who was way behind the D, but the pass couldn't connect. 2:07 to go in the Fuel's power play, the match penalty to Declan Smith. Here's Nick Grima winding up. Drops it off for Owen Robinson. And he missed stick handles at center, and Wallen takes the puck and will backhand it back in deep. Still a minute 50 to go in the Fuel's power play. 5:33 to go in the opening period. Indy leading at 1-0. Nick Grima sends it back to Owen Robinson. He'll take a serpentine route through the neutral zone. Hand off to Martin. Into the zone. Jayden Joseph takes it to the right wing circle. And tried to feed Martin. Found Robinson behind the goal. Backhands it up to Moravec along the left wing boards. Back to Robinson. Sends it up to the point. Grima fanned on it, but it got to Joseph. He shoots, and a save made by Carriere on that shot from the slot. Feed for Moravec didn't connect as it went over his head, and that allows Noah Beck to come over and clear the puck. Still a minute 13 to go on the Fuel's power play. Matt Petgrave turns his goal. He was out there for the entirety of the 4-on-3/5-on-3. Brings it back across the line. Stops, feeds it across to Broadhurst, right circle, skates in, curls back out to the corner. Zips it up to Laskowski, center point. Left point, Petgrave. Back across for Broadhurst. He'll take it off the right wing boards. Fan out to the half wall. 50 seconds to go on the power play. Moravec brings it out high. He's got 5 power play goals this year. Shoots, looking for the 6th, and it went just wide on that shot from just inside the blue line. Held in by Lapide briefly, but he couldn't quite handle the... Actually, that was Moravec. And he couldn't quite handle it. Peter Bates, short-handed, finds Wallen down the middle, shoots, and he hit the post. This Wichita team has scored power play goals in back-to-back games, and Jake Wallen nearly had a third as he took a nice feed from Bates, and he rang the right post with that shot. Still 15 seconds to go on the Fuel power play as they send it in. Neen's outlet pass is blocked by Markusan. Laskowski along the boards. With 6 seconds to go on the power play, Laskowski hands off to Markusan, plays it up to the point for Berger. He skates in, shoots, stick save made by Carriere. Penalty is over. Filion was serving the penalty. He's out of the box. And now the puck along the end boards. Joseph cycles it back in behind the goal. Laskowski. Fuel now are 0 for 2 at the man advantage. So is Wichita. And here's a steal by Laskowski. He shoots, save made by the goaltender Carriere, and Markusan couldn't quite find the rebound. At the top of the crease. Puck comes over to the corner. Jetty with it behind his goal. Turns his goal. Pushes it forward out to neutral ice where Christian Berger will take it back for the Fuel. Short pass ahead. Jayden Joseph backhands it up the right wing into the Wichita zone looking for Schultz. Didn't quite find him. Filion takes the puck for the Thunder. He'll drop it off to the D and Tyler Jetty. Out to neutral ice it comes. Filion, rink-wide pass. It'll be taken off the corner boards by Krasa. In behind the goal, centering pass. Filion fires, and it's held out. Chavon wins a puck at the end boards in his own end. Paquette plays it out to center. couldn't find Martin on the pass. And the puck loose at neutral ice. Siobhan checks Filion, and Moravec takes the puck into the zone up the right wing. Looks to center, but it was blocked. And now the Thunder bringing it back the other way. Filion across the fuel line. Being ridden into the boards by Nick Grima. Those two go, well, Filion goes down as Grima just wrestled him to the ice and then takes the puck. Owen Robinson hands off to Paquette. Tries to gain the red line and dump it in, but couldn't. Petgrave tried to send it forward to Paquette, but that ended up finding a bunch of traffic. And it's in all the way across the ice where Kirby Proctor will pick it up and send it in deep for Wichita. Dickman looks to center. That was blocked away from Stenell. And here come the Fuel the other way. Robinson backhands it into the right wing corner in the Wichita end. And Neen giving chase, taken back by the Fuel. Petgrave out high, shoots. Save Carriere, left a rebound into the left wing circle, held in by Petgrave at the point. Over to the left wing boards, Leskoski working the outside of the circle. A minute 48 to go in the period. Hands it off to Petgrave. Back up top for Chris Cameron. Fakes the slap shot, takes it. A blocker save made by Carriere. Broadhurst behind the goal. Over to the right wing corner for Leskoski. He cycles it over to the left corner. Lapide, his centering pass blocked back to the inboards as Broadhurst was heading toward the net. And Jay Dickman takes the puck for Wichita. Dickman's a guy who started his career with the Fuel, but kind of got caught in a numbers game here and has gone on to have a great career in Wichita. He brings it across the Fuel line. Brings it out wide, shoots short side high, and ends up hitting the side of the cage as Mitchell Weeks had sealed the post. And here's a shot from along the boards by Nardicia, and Mitchell Weeks gobbles that up to get a whistle. 1:05 to go in the first period. Feel like the Fuel are dominating this game, but it's just 1-0, and that one goal was an absolute fluke.
And what I've been focused on in the past couple of minutes is the lack of Wichita players compared to the Fuel players on the bench. I know they lost Malie, and I know that they were already down someone, but it looks like they've been down a couple more guys.
Well, they lost Malie, and
they got the
Smith
game misconduct.
has the match penalty, so he's done for the day. So they're
down 3.
Basically down to, right now, 15 skaters, as they were only starting the game with 17. Fuel clear the zone. Joseph brings it into the Wichita end. Left wing circle. Takes it to goal. Looks to center for Schultz, but it was blocked behind the net. Jaden Joseph battling along the near boards. Behind the goal it comes for Schultz. He ties up his man. Marcus and digs it free and tracks it down along the near boards. Backhands it to the corner for Joseph. 42 seconds to go in the period. Nardicia takes it, rims it around. Christian Berger pinches down and goes all the way below the goal line to keep the puck alive. Joseph cycles it back into the left wing corner for Schultz. He's trying to dance away from Beck's check, and the puck squirts out of that battle over to the far corner where Wallen zips it out to center for Blackwell. Blackwell tried to take it to the middle, but he was canceled out by Matt Petgrave. Fuel take the puck, tip pass to Broadhurst with speed across the line. Cuts to the middle, feeds Leskoski in the slot, he shoots! And a nice glove save made by Carriere. He'll hold for a whistle with 10.7 seconds to go in the period. Beautiful 200-foot play.
Yes.
Broadhurst finding Leskoski in the slot. He had a shot that was labeled, but Carriere made a very good save.
And that duo works so well together. Terry Broadhurst, just his veteran experience, brings so much to this team. And again, Cody Leskoski can fly the zone, capitalize on those rushes. His speed just enables him to do the plays that him and Broadhurst want to do.
Face off of the right wing circle. Fuel's attacking zone with 10.7 seconds to go in the period. And it is loose in the corner. Tucker looks to center. Turnaround shot. Broadhurst blocked by Lloyd over to the far boards. And that is how the first period will end. Well, Nick Grima with probably the most bizarre goal of his career, as he on a dump in that got caught in the goalie's skates and kicked into the net, has given the Fuel a 1-0 lead through 20 minutes here at the Fishers Event Center.
And excellent goaltending by Mitchell Weeks.
Yes, Mitchell Weeks, especially on that early 2-minute 5-on-3 where he made 5 saves, 8 saves early on a 5-minute Wichita power play. The Fuel had a long 4-on-3, 5-on-3, and essentially had a 5-minute power play themselves that they were not able to take advantage of as well, but a solid opening period for the Fuel, who lead it 1-0, a penalty-filled first period as well. So we're going to take a break. Eva and I will come back with our first intermission show right after this. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Dr. David Moody and Dr. Kevin Boyd with Gallagher Chiropractic Group are the official chiropractors for the Indy Fuel. With multiple professionals and decades of experience, we are able to offer a level of expertise and knowledge that is world class. Our office provides chiropractic, nutrition, decompression therapy, and massage therapy. To schedule an appointment, contact us today by phone or text at 317-571-1480 or GallagherChiroGroup.com.
At Abrams Eye Care, our skilled team of ophthalmologists, optometrists, opticians, and professional staff strive to treat our patients with the greatest efficiency, professionalism, and kindness. Each of our 3 Abrams Eye Care locations desire for you to enjoy a lifetime of visual health and wellness. We take pride in our excellent patient satisfaction rating and our reputation as one of the most comprehensive eye care groups in Central Indiana since 1950. We are honored to be the official eye doctor for the Indy Fuel and Fisher's Freight. Visit our new Abrams Eye Care location in Carmel.
Don't miss a second of the action. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
The Indy Fuel with a 1-0 lead over the Wichita Thunder here during the first intermission of a game that was delayed 2 hours and 15 minutes.
It's 10 p.m.
Due to a power outage. A transformer blew
Thanks, Optimus Prime.
near the rink, and the Bumblebees from Duke Energy worked to get it.
What's the bad guy name? Megatron. It was Megatron.
That's yeah. We'll blame it on Megatron, but the Bumblebees from Duke Energy got us back going at about an hour and 50 minutes after the power outage began. So certainly there are some things that are outside your control, but certainly did not take these teams too long to get going. We had a fight, a major penalty, two game misconducts, a match penalty. Needless to say, it's been a bit of a wild first period here. And the one goal was a bizarre one as Nick Grima's dump in. Carrier went out to play it, and he just lost it in his skates and ended up kicking the puck into his own net. And that gave the Fuel the lead they have now. Now you've got a lead, and quite honestly, I thought the Fuel were all over Wichita the last half of that period. Now the Thunder have a chance to regroup a little bit. I think if you're the Fuel, you want to stay on the front foot.
Absolutely. You don't want to let off on this gas. Obviously, don't give Wichita too many more power play opportunities because you know you've been a little leaky here, but play with the lead, maintain the lead, and keep with the energy that you have been. I really do think that the Fuel have been strong, and I mean, Mitchell Weeks there, insane with those penalty kills. I mean, he just looked very calm and was able to track the puck successfully numerous times after, you know, he got screened, it went every which way. So excellent goaltending from him. So you expect him to be on his A game again in the next period. So want to make sure though you don't loosen up around him though. Even though he's playing really well, want to make sure you don't loosen up too quickly because when your defense starts to lack around your goaltender, you just still need that trust.
Yeah, and so the Fuel with this 1-0 lead, Nick Grima scores at the 8:02 mark, his first goal since February 1st of last year. Matt Petgrave and Terry Broadhurst with the assist for Petgrave. That now is 9 points in his last 7 games. For Broadhurst, that's 4 in his last 4 and 7 in his last 9. And so, and also for Nick Grima, it's 3 points in his last 3 games. He had 2 assists on Friday night. So,
yes.
So those 3 get the Fuel on the scoreboard. 1-0 they lead. Shots on goal were 13-10 in Indy's favor in the first period. Both teams were 0 for 2 on the power play. That included 5-on-3 time and a 5-minute power play. Essentially, the Fuel's wasn't exactly 5 minutes, but it was pretty close. But a 4+ minute power play, we can say, for each team. So that's the way things look through a period. Earlier today, Eva had a chance to chat with Indy Fuel forward Eric Martin. You'll hear that conversation right after this. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
When you're dealing with a sports injury, getting back out there is the first thing on your mind. We know the feeling. Our sports medicine team cares for thousands of student athletes across central Indiana. In addition to physicians and athletic trainers, you'll have access to experts in physical therapy, imaging, and more. And with convenient locations near you, we help make healing as simple as possible. Learn more at ecommunity.com/sports. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Fuel fans, don't let plumbing problems freeze you out this winter. Control Tech has been your trusted home comfort team for more than 40 years, offering heating, cooling, and plumbing solutions. Right now, get $50 off any plumbing service when you mention the Indy Fuel. Call Control Tech at 317-873-3737 today and reboot your home comfort.
Welcome to the Intermission Show, where we get to chat with the Fuel player every single game. I'm Eva Hallman, and joining me today is Fuel forward Eric Martin. So welcome to the Intermission Show today.
Thank you for having me.
So it's another 3-game homestand this week. How does the team look to carry the home ice momentum again? It's now the 4th of 6, so obviously a lot of time here at home.
Yeah, I mean, we're on the road for a while, so I think it's kind of nice to get back at home, get in the rhythm of things a little bit, but you know, playing a team we haven't played yet this weekend, and you know, they definitely got a different style of play than a lot of the teams we play, so just, you know, maybe sticking to our game and making little changes to what they're doing, and hopefully have a good week at home.
And you touched on this a little bit, but we're playing the Wichita Thunder today, who we've played in a row for the past 2 seasons, but obviously a new opponent today, and now in this month of March, we're going to see both them and Utah, so non-divisional opponents this month. So how do we look to set the tone against Wichita when obviously when it's a new opponent, it's kind of like trying to see and feel them out at the same time they're trying to do the same to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think like one thing that our team does is, you know, we try not to change our game plan too much for who we're playing, so try to just stick to our standards, stick to what we know, and you know, take it to them from the opening draw on all 3 nights, you know, and just pressure them all night, forecheck, play defense, play field hockey all night.
And an electric game on Tuesday and Friday last week, and how does the team hope to continue that success while also learning from Saturday's game?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. You know, you see the energy in the event center here, and even on Tuesday with all the kids. I mean, it was just so loud in there, and you know, it's awesome to get some wins at home and do that. And you know, Saturday might have been a bit of a lull, but it's a good thing we got 3 more games this week to keep rolling.
And then scoring first has been key the past couple games, netting in 2 last week. But how impactful is it getting a strong shift and a strong start? Especially that's Dunks' game. He always says, come out strong, win a puck, win a period, win a game. Yeah,
100%. I mean, like, you know, when you bring that from the opening draw of the game, and you know, you get that first goal, you guys already got the momentum, you got the energy, and you know, especially at home, something like that too, that gets the crowd into it early. So I mean, like you said, that's something Dunks preaches all the time, is just, you know, starting quick, starting on time. So that'll be very important this week.
And then special teams have been the difference maker as of late. Last week when we were 1 for 7 on the power play and 5 for 8 on the kill. And how does the team look to ironing out special teams and taking advantage when we can?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just trying to be more connected. Like, I think just on both of them, power play and penalty kill, it's maybe just like, it's not a huge deal or huge issues, I think, that's causing them. It's just little things, maybe not being like on the same page with your line mate or whoever's on the ice with you. But, you know, we worked on it this week. We've been watching video on it, so hopefully the results will show.
And then how do we look to also save 5-on-5, since that's where we play our best, especially when eliminating those offensive zone or post-whistle penalties, because I feel like those tend to trip you guys up and it can really lose the momentum of the game there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, just like something like you know, like a slashing or tripping, some sort of stick infraction, like that kind of stuff, especially when it's not necessary. That kind of stuff really kills momentum for the team. And, you know, when you got some guys that don't kill penalties, some guys that do, you know, it's hard for guys to get into a rhythm when we're taking a lot of penalties and stuff like that. So, like you said, you know, we do play our best when we're at 5-on-5. So, just trying to stay out of the box, and, you know, if they take penalties, try to capitalize on that.
And then now a little bit about you. What made you want to sign with the Fuel over the offseason? I believe you were one of our first couple signings, and when we first signed you, I remember Duncan Dalme was just ecstatic, saying how much energy you were going to bring to this team.
Yeah, I mean, having talked to Dunks, and I actually have like a good friend at college that's like family friends with Duncan, so he'd kind of like talk to me about it too, and just like let me know that they were interested, and then just talking with Dunks and seeing like like everything they got here, the facilities, the apartments, everything. Like it was kind of a no-brainer, and I'm very happy with my decision.
And again, it's your rookie season, and you were sidelined for a beginning chunk of it due to injury. But what have you learned about this league in your time this season? Obviously, going from college to the pros, it's obviously a bigger jump. More games, more speed, more action.
Yeah, honestly, like you just said, the biggest difference probably is just the games. I mean, like my first 2 weeks back, I think we had like 7 games in 2 weeks or something like that. Or it was like 8 games in 2 weeks. So it was crazy. Just like we didn't practice for like 3 weeks too at one point, which is like crazy. In college, you practice 4 times a week before every weekend you play. So just that, and just learning how to like recover well properly and be ready for the next day. When you got 3 games in 3 days, like nutrition, all that kind of stuff, like stretching, sleep, it's all really important. So it's been a work in progress, but it's feeling better and better every day.
Sleeping college is good, but sleeping in the professional world is even better.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you've learned that quick.
I feel like I'm taking so many naps nowadays. I need it.
It never ends. No. Naps forever. A little more about today's game. Lots of fluidity in the lineup recently. Guys getting called up, sent down, back from injury. But how does the team look to play to their identity, especially with this ever-changing lineup? I know you've been in and out, making sure other guys are nursing injuries. So how does that all come to play?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one thing about our team is you can plug anyone in and you're going to get the same results. So I think that just shows like our team and everyone's willingness to buy in, and nobody's complaining about being on a certain line or playing with certain players. Like everyone just shows up and does their job. It doesn't matter who you're playing with or if you're not playing. Everyone's still bringing that positive energy and working towards the team goal.
And what's something in practice that you hope to see implemented tonight?
Maybe our new power play, but I can't tell you about it. But hopefully it works out.
Hopefully it can show today.
Yes,
we can get a taste,
so.
and then I'll credit you here.
Yes.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
And then final 2 questions: how have you been enjoying the new Fishers Event Center and playing in front of these passionate Fuel fans? I mean, we talked about it. Just seems like every weekend we're selling out. A lot of fans here. It creates good energy.
No, it's crazy. I mean, my dad was here last weekend, and that was like the first thing he said to me. It was his first time here. He's like, "It's crazy, like the fans here, like." For them to show out, even like today's a Wednesday night, and I'm still assuming there'll be a lot of fans out here. So it's awesome to see that, and even when I was hurt at the start of the year, like you really can feel that energy, and when you're sitting in like the stands, you can feel it. Like it's genuinely crazy.
And then lastly, what's the key to the game tonight? The first of Wichita of 3 this week.
I think just our forecheck and just keeping the D zone steady too. I mean, I think that's probably our two things we need to work on or that we need the most tonight. Just forechecking them all night, being relentless, and just being stingy defensively and not giving them anything easy.
Well, thank you so much, Eric Martin, for joining us Intermission show, and good luck today.
Thank you.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; AthleticNet, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to FloHockey.tv.
This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Getting set for the second period here at the Fishers Event Center. The Indy Fuel leading the Wichita Thunder 1-0. This is the first of 3 games this week between these two teams. Back at it Friday night and Saturday night. The puck drops, assuming that there are no further transformer issues next door. The puck is scheduled to drop at 7 o'clock both nights, and so you can get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
I also think that it was ironic that when the Wichita Thunder came to town, it's been nothing but lightning and thunder.
It has
so
been.
Thank you so much for bringing that with you.
They brought the weather with them for sure. Well, it is March in Indiana.
Yeah.
And so we're getting spring weather. So,
but the Fuel are hoping to rain on Wichita's parade.
Puck is down to begin the second period. Wichita right now skating with 15 skaters, 3 men short. They started the game 1 down. As Jesse Tucker shoots, the puck is down for the second period. He shoots from the left wing circle. It's blocked wide. Feeds it to Broadhurst, right circle. Takes it toward the corner and has it knifed off of his stick by TJ Lloyd. Puck comes to the end boards and toward the corner. Jesse Tucker trying to settle it down on this freshly cut ice. And the Thunder end up skating out of there with it. Lloyd with some space. Gains center red, and he'll wind it in. Through both corners, Nardicia sends it toward the goal where Blackwell couldn't quite handle it. And the Fuel pick it up. Lee Lapide up the left side through the neutral zone. Gains the red line. He'll force it in deep. And actually it's taken away. Here comes Stinnell on a breakaway. He shoots, and save made by Mitchell Weeks. He had sent it in deep, but Wichita picked it off, and Stinnell came in all alone, and Mitchell Weeks, the blocker, save. Behind his own goals, Kirby Proctor for Wichita up the far side to Stinnell. Over to the right wing knee, back to Stinnell, tape-to-tape pass, and as he tried to bring it down the slot, it was taken right off his stick by Matt Petgrave. Lee Lapide works it into the Wichita zone, takes it to the slot, shoots, it's deflected wide from the right wing circle. Picked up off the end boards by Moravec. He'll bring it out high to Grima. Skates in, fires right on, but right into the logo of Gabriel Carrier's sweater. He'll hold for a whistle with 18:29 to go in period number 2.
And Indy, when leading after the first period, they're 15-2-2. And Wichita, when trailing after the first, is 4-9-0-2. So obviously for the Fuel, especially last week, in 2 out of their 3 games, they netted the first goal, and then they subsequently won them. So that just shows how impactful the first goal is, and then also the first period. After getting that lead and scoring that first goal, they're able to generate wins.
I think the way the Fuel playing with a lead is a lot more comfortable because of that heavy forechecking game they play. Face-off won by Wichita on their own end. Jetty being bothered by Schultz. Able to move it over to the near side. And Finnegan couldn't quite handle it, but he gets it back, brings it out to center. Wheels it across the Fuel line. Cross corner flip into the left wing corner looking for Noah Beck. Siobhan pokes it free from him. Wallen gets to it. To Finnegan behind the goal. Over to Beck in the corner. Defenseman playing forward to the goal line right now. Krasa will rotate back to take his spot. As the puck chips behind the net, Tyler Schultz, or Brandon Schultz, I should say, sees it, and he will settle it down. His feet ahead for Marcus and doesn't connect, but ends up going on goal, so no icing. Krasa takes a headman feed from his goaltender. He'll fire it into the far corner in the Fuel end. Weeks spins it around to Eric Martin, and the Fuel will try to break it out. Martin behind his own goal. Puts on the brakes. And feathers it ahead to Paquette. And he'll zip it through the neutral zone. Pass for Joseph. Broken up, and now here comes Blackwell the other way. Across the Fuel line. Try to drop it for Krasa, but that didn't connect. Lloyd at center will scale it in. Comes through both corners. Eric Martin trying to force it free. Plays it back for Innes. And Jaden Joseph legs at the zone. Zips it ahead. Paquette up the right side. Joseph coming down the middle. Hits the trailer. Martin takes it to the backhand. Fires it just wide. Carrier sprawls to fall on top of the loose puck and cover as the puck came to the right post, and Carrier was kind of leaning to the left a little bit. He had to come all the way back and reach out with his trapper to cover that up and get a whistle with 17:02 to go in the second period.
Yeah, good save there by Carrier for the Wichita Thunder. A nice break. They really needed that. However, for the Fuel, they're putting some good pressure in, being able to hop on the rush, get in, fly the zone, and definitely just try and put a lot of pressure on him.
Well, a false start on the draw, so we'll do it again. Lapide against the Wichita captain, Peter Bates. One of the top scorers in the league and has been for a long time is Peter Bates. Puck played out to center. Bates, Stinnell, and Dickman have about as skilled of a line as you'll see in this league. Puck played up to the point, not out, held in by Chris Cameron. He tried to send it down the boards, broken up, and now here come the Thunder. Stenell up the left side with numbers, feeds a trailer Dickman, and he fanned on the shot. Good back check there by Owen Robinson. Bates takes it back, feeds left circle. Stenell couldn't handle the pass. He had all kinds of time and room, but just couldn't quite get the shot off. Shot from the point from Jetty, blocked by Owen Robinson. Brett Moravec wants transition the other way. Backhands it across the line. Lapide cuts the middle, shoots, he scores! Lee Lapide bar down. The Fuel lead at 2-0 as they score off the rush. Lee Lapide saw an opening, cut to the slot, and he rips it right under the bar to give the Fuel a 2-0 lead.
His 12th goal of the season and his almost like 5th goal in the past 2 weeks. Lee Lapide nets one in for the Fuel. A really nice, just takes it and top shelves it. Really nice play there by the Fuel, being able to, again, put lots of pressure, but a really nice top shelf goal by Lee Lapide.
And Nolan Neen was in the right position there defensively. He was defending Lapide. Lapide just made a nice little move to get around him and free himself and then load up for the shot.
Brett Moravec dutifully credited there for an assist. He has just been working so hard as he came off from injury. His last point was February 15th against the Cyclones, but again, we've been talking about Lee Lapide's been on an absolute heater lately.
Yeah, for Lapide, that's now 5 goals and an assist in his last 7 games. And the Fuel now with a 2-goal lead. Broadhurst brings it across the line. Laskowski in front of Petgrave, coming down the middle. Pass a little too far for him. Now the Fuel trying not to get trapped up ice. They do a good job breaking up the rush at center. Here comes Broadhurst back into the zone. Fans out to the right wing boards, trying to move on Lloyd. Lloyd poked it off of his stick, and it, from there, ricocheted toward the goal where Carriere reaches out and covers again for a whistle. 15:49 to go. Brett Moravec had the lone assist on that goal by Lee Lapide, his 12th of the year, giving the Fuel this 2-0 edge.
And Lee Lapide has been one, kind of had a slow start to the season, wasn't really getting on the stat sheets the way he wanted, but recently, he has just been contributing so much to this Fuel team.
Yeah, and we knew he had that in him a couple of years ago. Was a 20-goal scorer in Cincinnati. Fuel control the draw. Petgrave plays it behind the goal, looking for Lapide. He couldn't quite handle it. And it's grabbed by Kirby Proctor. His feed through the neutral zone doesn't connect. Petgrave has it at his own line. Tried to steer it ahead through the neutral zone toward Lapide, but that pass didn't connect. The Fuel are guilty of icing with 15:29 to go in period number 2. Yeah, Lapide's a guy who started out in Cincinnati a couple of years ago as a 20-goal scorer. Last year, started the year in Finland, and then finished it in Kalamazoo. Signed with the Fuel in the offseason.
And we are happy he's scoring goals for us and not against us.
Yeah, and interestingly, Lee Lapide's grandfather played pro soccer in Israel.
Yes.
And he is a Canisius Golden Griffin.
And a great dude.
Yeah, and we're into those college hockey conference tournament seasons now.
Yes.
Face-off one, clearly by the Thunder. A shot from the point off of Proctor's stick is blocked. Fuel can't clear as Neen soccers it back into the zone. And a centering pass looking for Nardicia doesn't connect. Marcusan battling for the puck over along the near boards, wins it. And it's forced out to center. Marcusan gets to it, brings it across the line. He takes it to the left wing corner in the Wichita end, being watched by Proctor as he takes it behind the net over to the right wing corner. Marcusan still on the puck, trying to work it free from Proctor, who's still following it. Comes into the circle. Joseph fans on the shot. Marcusan gets it back, and Paquette sends it over to an open wing where it is skied out to center by Nolan Neen. Fuel regained possession. Paquette's stick was lifted by Blackwell. He couldn't get a pass forward. Jaden Joseph brings it across the line up the right side. Taken back by the Thunder, and they squirt it out to center as Siobhan couldn't quite settle it down and hold it in. The Fuel play it back in deep. Nolan Neen sidesteps a check. High flip off the top of the glass. That was a dangerous clear by Neen. The Fuel regained possession at center. Ennis zips a pass through the neutral zone. Martin Redirects it into the right wing corner in the Wichita end. Moravec giving chase. Gets to it, looks to center, but it's blocked back to the end boards by Neen. And Peter Bates will play it out to neutralize Stenell. Good poke check by Moravec coming across. Forces it free. Stenell gets it back in neutral ice, but his pass doesn't connect. Owen Robinson forces it up the far board. Stenell breaks up that rush. And the Fuel again regain possession and play it out to center. Lapide will sweep it in behind the Wichita goal. Carriere stops it, rims it around, and Cameron stepped up, and Mikkel Stenell pushed it past him, but couldn't quite settle the puck down. Comes back into the Fuel end where Christian Berger tracks it down for the Fuel. Chris Cameron fanned on a breakout pass, gets it back. Indirect feed to Lapide through neutral ice. His dump in hits Jay Dickman. Comes out to center. Christian Berger skates onto it across the line. Feeds it Leskoski. He takes it to goal, and he scores. Christian Berger, a look what I found play is he saw a loose puck at center and gained the line with a ton of speed, drew the D to him, and then it was just a short pass to Cody Leskoski coming down the middle. He goes backhand, forehand over the glove side of Carriere, and the Fuel lead at 3-0.
Cody Leskoski, he scored on February 27th against Iowa, and in total now that's his 9th goal of the year. And we mentioned him earlier, but his speed, his hustle, and his ability to get in those dirty areas really reward him.
Here's a shot from along the goal line by Wallen, turned aside by Mitchell Weeks, who has not been very busy this period. That's just his second save. As the Fuel with a 3-0 lead with 13:18 to go in the second period. Weeks holds for a whistle. We will take a break. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
When you're dealing with a sports injury, getting back out there is the first thing on your mind. We know the feeling. Our sports medicine team cares for thousands of student athletes across central Indiana. In addition to physicians and athletic trainers, you'll have access to experts in physical therapy, imaging, and more. And with convenient locations near you, we help make healing as simple as possible. Learn more at ecommunity.com/sports. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
At Abrams Eye Care, our skilled team of ophthalmologists, optometrists, opticians, and professional staff strive to treat our patients with the greatest efficiency, professionalism, and kindness. Each of our 3 Abrams Eye Care locations desire for you to enjoy a lifetime of visual health and wellness. We take pride in our excellent patient satisfaction rating and our reputation as one of the most comprehensive eye care groups in central Indiana since 1950. We are honored to be the official eye doctor for the Indy Fuel and Fisher's Freight. Visit our new Abrams Eye Care location in Carmel.
Don't miss a second of the action. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Never miss a goal with FloHockey. You can watch today's event live along with all other FloHockey games for the rest of the season. Visit FloHockey.tv for more information and to sign up for your subscription today. That's FLOHockey.tv.
Fuel with 4 shots this period and 2 goals.
I like that stat.
As they lead the Wichita Thunder 3-0, along with Eva Hallman, I'm Andrew Smith. Late night hockey on a Wednesday night here in central Indiana. And the Thunder win an attacking zone draw. Wallen plays it up to the point where Jetty will ram it around to Beck in the right wing corner. He takes a check from Martin, forces it free, but comes up to the point to Wallen, who is covering for Beck at the right point. Sends it down to the right wing corner. Petgrave battling for it. Grima jams it over to the near side. Nice tip pass. Allows the Fuel to exit the zone, and then a high flip for Eric Martin, a little too far for him. And I think the Fuel are going to be called for offside. Eric Frank blew the whistle, and I think the Fuel are confused. Like, wait a second, Martin beat out the icing, but he was so far ahead of the play on that high flip that I think he beat the puck across the line. Martin is questioning, but...
And this is the most action Mitchell Weeks has seen in a couple minutes here. Wichita really trying to put in a lot of pressure on the Fuel since allowing 3 straight.
And that was really a nice play in the defensive zone, and then the high flip almost executed it perfectly. Fuel win the defensive zone draw. Martin takes a pass from Petgrave and hands it off to Jane Joseph. His dump in, hits a body, comes back to him. Feeds Eric Martin left circle, and he overskated the puck. When he went to shoot it, the puck wasn't there. Back in his own end. Up the far side, rink-wide pass for Blackwell. Spiked off of his stick by Joseph, but Jetty's the next player, and he'll play it in deep. Mitchell Weeks stops it behind his own goal, hands it off to Petgrave. He'll feed it out to center. Eric Martin couldn't get it through Lloyd. Nardicia up the left side. Filion gains the fuel line and is able to force it past Nick Grima to the end boards, where it's cut off by Matt Petgrave of the Fuel. And he'll play it out to neutral ice. A little too far for Eric Martin, but it's taken back by Martin at center. Paquette's offside, so he'll backhand it in and wait for his teammates to tag up just to allow Indy to get a change. TJ Lloyd out to center. Jay Dickman will redirect it up the right wing boards into the Fuel end. Cody Chavon sees Bates coming. Puts on the brakes, spins away from that check. Moravec zips a pass out to center. Robinson one-on-one across the line. Tries to take it a goal, hooks it right through the crease, but nobody was there. Lee Lapide gets to it along the far boards. Moravec takes his pass. Back diagonal to the point, bunted by Chavon to Ennis. He shoots wide from the left wing boards. Karam's over to the right wing board. Chavon up to Lapide. Tees up one from above the right wing circle. A quick catch and release from Lee Lapide, but a glove save made by Carriere, and he holds for a whistle with 11:29 to go in period number 2.
And speaking of Lee Lapide, it was his 6th 2-point night so far this season, and his dad is in attendance today. So I hope that Mr. Lapide made it out despite the very, very long delay, and I hope he is enjoying watching his son get 2 points today for the Fuel.
That last goal was Leskoski's 9th from Berger and Lapide, giving the Fuel a 3-0 lead. It came at 6:33 of the period. Puck played into the Fuel end and iced by the Thunder, and now Cameron and Stenell are having a disagreement after the whistle. I don't think Cameron liked the way Stenell continued to charge after that puck, and the linesman Jake Paw is saying, "What are you doing?" And they're going to send Cameron off. They're going to give Cameron a penalty here. He did not like the way Stenell came in and took exception to it after the whistle. Roughing is the call on Chris Cameron.
Well, a big kill here for the Fuel as Wichita is putting a lot of pressure here, but Mitchell Weeks has looked sharp tonight. I'm sure that this penalty kill just, again, tighten things up around him, but should be no exception to what we saw earlier.
Third power play of the game for Wichita. They're 0 for 2. Yeah, and you can see, those of you watching on FloHockey on the replay, where Hunter Mottinger was right there. He saw Chris Cameron take that shot and immediately said, "You're going to the box." Fuel win the draw, and a nice job by Lee Lapide to clear it over a leaping Noah Beck. Beck will retreat back in behind his own goal, start the breakout. Stenell hands off to Beck. Zips a pass. Bates redirects it to the end boards. Christian Berger, first one there, rims it around. Blackwell holds it into the right wing corner. Bates looks to center. Greens off of a couple of legs, but it's held in and regathered by Wichita. Stenell shoots and scores. Top of the right wing circle, Mikkel Stenell. These guys have really struggled on the power play, but you knew that would not last long because they have an insane amount of talent. And Mikkel Stenell scores his 4th power play goal of the season, and a post-whistle penalty taken by Chris Cameron lets Wichita have an opportunity, and they take advantage. Blackwell providing a little bit of a screen there, and Stenell ended up beating Mitchell Weeks.
And those post-whistle penalties have really haunted and hurt the Fuel so far this season, and that's just another example. And the penalty kill woes continue. The Fuel really strong on the penalty kill in the first period, but here a little loosened up.
Well, that is now the 12th time in the last 14 games the Fuel have allowed a power play goal. Actually, it's the 13th actual goal, but the 12th game out of the last 14, the Fuel have allowed a power play goal. And the special teams have been a bit of a bugaboo for this team here in the last few weeks, but even with that, they've been somewhat successful. They're 10-5-5 in their last 20, despite the struggles they're having on special teams. Here's Jaden Joseph with a steal. He shoots right into the logo on Gabriel Carriere's sweater. He'll gobble it up to get a whistle. 10:17 to go in the middle frame. 3-1 Fuel lead.
And despite still outscoring Wichita 3-1. You really want to make sure you tighten things up and play with the lead. The Fuel have struggled in recent games with playing with the lead unless they get multiple insurance goals. Still, they're still 2 goals up. However, we know that this is going to be a game of penalties.
Yeah, Wichita is a team that can score a lot of goals. They end up clearing the puck into the stands off of the draw, but it deflected off the glass, so no penalty. The assist on Stenell's goal that came at 9-11, Noah Beck and Peter Bates, and for Beck, that is his 22nd power play point. He came into the game 4th among ECHL defensemen, and Peter Bates as well. That was his 19th power play point. His 13th assist. It was Beck's 16th on the power play. As I said, these guys have a lot of high-end talent. They're a bit of a top-heavy team, but that top is very good. Here's Leskoski trying to backhand one into the circle. Broadhurst takes his guy down. Wichita bench wanted a penalty. Filion brings it in across the line. Feeds it over to the far side. Leskoski in perfect position. Parries it away from Nardicia. Fuel clear it back to the Wichita line. Back up the right side to Lloyd. He'll chip it in below the Fuel goal line. Nick Grima takes it off the inboards. Backhands it to Matt Petgrave. Just past the halfway point of the game. Fuel leading at 3-1. Leskoski along the near boards through center. Up the left wing for Broadhurst. That pass was broken up. That forced the play to be a little bit discombobulated, but the Fuel get it back. But now they're going to be whistled. Now we got a penalty. A high stick is the call. And they're looking at Jay Dickman, so the Fuel are going to be shorthanded again.
And back-to-back penalties is... I'll let him speak.
Jesse Tucker. And all of a sudden, the door has been cracked wide open for Wichita to get back in this game.
And they know that special teams is not one of the Fuel's strong suits, and they're going to try and capitalize on it. We heard Coach Stefan Thorne say earlier is that Wichita's optimistic and opportunistic. They're really going to be able to capitalize on the mistakes, and the Fuel just need to be staying disciplined. And again, it's those slashings, high sticking penalties, and also those post-whistle penalties that really get the best of them.
Yeah, this all started with a post-whistle penalty. They scored on it. Well, the Fuel, the big kill incoming. Wichita's 1 for 3 on the power play, and they started off well because Chris Cameron clears it right off the face-off. So Tucker for high sticking. Joseph, Robinson, Berger, and Cameron are the penalty killers for the Fuel. Here's Stenell bringing it across the line. He tried to curl a drag through Cameron, and Cameron just stopped him, took the puck away, and sends it all the way down the rink. Minute 33 to go in the Wichita power play. 3-1 Fuel leading. Bringing it across the Fuel line is Beck. Has it chopped off of his stick by Berger, and it's backhanded all the way down by Paquette. Paquette and Lapide right now, the penalty-killing forwards out there with Berger and Petgrave. Bates through center, drops it off Beck, across Stidell, back across the ice for Dickman. He'll jam it in behind the Fuel goal. Petgrave rims it around. Bates stops it along the right wing boards for Wichita. Down to the corner, Stidell, a little too far for him. Petgrave clears it a bit dangerously right into his own defensive crease where Lee Lapide was waiting on it. He'll hoist it all the way down. Fred Shera, a long-time, 2-time Stanley Cup champion coach of the Philadelphia Flyers. Never clear the puck in front of your own net, but that was a pretty careful play by Petgrave. He knew where Lapide was, and Lapide didn't have any pressure. Rimmed in by the Thunder and not sent out by Broadhurst. A great hold there at the point by Nolan Neen. They play it to the inboards. 25 seconds to go in the Wichita power play. Puck battle won by Petgrave. Grima turns it ahead to Markusen, and he'll send it all the way down. Grima had 2 guys converging on him, had Markusen 5 feet away, was able to make that pass. Now Krasa brings it into the zone. As it poked off of his stick, Finnegan battling for it with 2 Fuel players along the boards. Neen comes out of there with it. Neen in the slot sends it just wide of Krasa to the inboards. Penalty is over. Centering pass broken up. And comes up to the point. Neen holds it in. Nardicia over to the top of the left wing circle. Krasa backhands it a little further along for a shot from along the boards. And a save is made on Proctor by Mitchell Weeks, but the Fuel are going to be shorthanded again. 3 straight penalties taken here by Indy in the middle part of the second period. This time it's going to be Nick Grima going to the box.
Self-inflicted wounds here.
It's a high stick on Grima.
Again, it's those penalties where, again, you're back to back to back. You don't want to be giving Wichita more opportunities on special teams. You're hurting yourself. And Andrew and I, we've been talking about a lot. It's the Fuel's self-inflicted wounds. They do this a lot. They have a tendency to rack up a bunch of penalty kills on themselves and make it harder for themselves to maintain a lead.
Yeah, it's 3-1. Wichita has scored on the power play here, and 14 seconds after killing off the penalty to Jesse Tucker, they're right back to the kill. And Grima, of course, one of their penalty-killing defensemen. Chris Cameron, again, clears right off the face-off, so second verse, same as the first, as far as the start of the penalty kill. Beck zips it ahead, redirected by Stenell to the right wing corner in the Fuel end. Christian Berger shakes away from a check and is able to clear. Diving attempt made by Bates, but he couldn't hold it into the zone. Now here's Paquette picking up a loose puck at center. He shoots short-handed wide. Rebound comes off the bottom of the cage, and Peter Bates will pick it back up for Wichita. Blackwell wheels it through, center up the right wing. He'll flip it in and go after it himself to the end boards. And he takes a big hit, and we're going to have another penalty on the Fuel.
Oh.
This will be 4 consecutive power plays for Wichita. And the Thunder's second 5-on-3 of the game.
And the Wichita Thunder trainer out again. And
they're already really short-handed. It's Blackwell that took that hit up high. And it's going to be Jaden Joseph going to the box. 4 straight power plays for Wichita this period. This will be their 6th of the game. Well, and
they launched.
Elbowing is the call.
They launched water bottles?
Well, yeah, Mitchell Weeks needed a fresh water bottle, so they'll send that from the bench. So, 5-on-3 power play for Wichita for 1:18. Again, the Fuel are just opening. They were up 3-0 with 11 minutes to go in this period, and they have just opened the door wide open for Wichita to get right back in this game.
And after
crowd does not like that penalty.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, you can make your conclusions to yourself, and obviously Wichita is trying to craft up a play here. And so the Fuel, a big, big kill for them. And again, you're going to have to make sure you protect Mitchell Weeks. And Chris Cameron's irate right now.
Yeah, so is the crowd.
The crowd that has showed up.
Jaden Joseph comes in, going for the puck. And it looks like Blackwell Joseph was the first one of the inboards bracing himself. It looked like Blackwell just skated into Joseph's elbow. He's got a beef there.
Yeah.
Well, you got to kill it off. 6:36 to go. It's a 3-1 lead, but that seems to be very precarious right now, as it's been a parade to the penalty box for the Fuel. Indy wins the draw. Christian Berger clears. Berger just knifed that puck away from Stenell and was able to send it back into the Wichita end. 5-on-3 for another 1:07. They regain the zone. Bates at the top of the right wing circle. Fans out to the boards. Sends it up to Stenell. Back to Bates. Tips it into the corner to Blackwell. Now to Bates along the goal line up top. Beck. Very good power play quarterback. Bates had a hop off of his stick. He retreats and retrieves it. Feeds it. Stenell over to Beck. One-timer. He scores. Noah Beck with a one-timer. Well, you play with fire, you get burned. And the Fuel, you give up power play after power play after power play after power play, and suddenly your 3-0 lead is 3-2, and the Thunder still have 1:25 of power play time to tie this game up.
Special teams were the case the last time the Thunder were here, where they scored 2 power play goals and a shorthanded goal. And so we knew special teams was going to be important coming into this. They were really good against the Thunder 5-on-5, not allowing in an even strength goal. But again, 2 power play goals back-to-back, and now they're still on the kill.
Yeah, they're really good 5-on-5 against everybody. The problem has been their special teams have been a real struggle, especially on both ends, power play and penalty kill, for basically most of this calendar year. Wichita's still on the power play for 1:10. Golden opportunity to tie this game up for them. Beck shoots, and it's fought off by Weeks, bottom of the circle. And here's a feed across. Matt Petgrave picks it up, and he'll whistle it all the way down. And I'll tell you, if you're going to give a penalty to give a team a 5-on-3, you better be sure it's a penalty. And that was, I think if there was a coach's challenge, I think that one might have been overturned. Here's Bates, plays it up to Blackwell along the boards, hands off to Bates, and it's knifed away by Matt Petgrave and cleared all the way down. So 30 seconds to go in the Wichita power play. The Fuel lead has been cut to 3-2. Stenell and Bates had the assist on Beck's 9th goal of the year. Wound in by Neen. Lloyd has it along the left wing boards, chips it forward, taken back by Tucker. He couldn't quite handle it, but it squirts away to Owen Robinson, and he'll force it out to center. Robinson chases it down, gets to it at neutral ice, and backhands it in deep. This should do it for the rest of the power play. 4 seconds remain in it as Neen turns his goal. Headman's into the neutral zone. Lloyd with some speed across the line. Nardicia. He brings it in, looks to center all the way across the ice. Pass was behind Finnegan, but Joseph overskated it. Christian Berger trying to get it away from Krasa. Hands it off to Cameron behind his own goal. Sends it up to the far side. Lapide can't get it out. Lapide able to send it back to Christian Berger. He'll play it out to center. Moravec ahead. Jetty takes it away from him at neutral ice. Bates. High flip into the Fuel zone. And it's played by Chris Cameron all the way down, and this dump in is going to end up on goal, so no icing. Jetty, indirect feed through the neutral zone. Bates redirects it into the right wing corner of the Fuel end. Siobhan takes a hit, rims it around to Leskoski. And forechecker comes, but Leskoski moves it to Moravec, and as he tried to send it out of the zone, he sent it into the Wichita bench. So we'll have a face-off with 3:48 to go. The Fuel's inability to stay out of the penalty box has let Wichita back in the game. It's 3-2 with 3:48 to go in the second period. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Fuel fans, don't let plumbing problems freeze you out this winter. Control Tech has been your trusted home comfort team for more than 40 years, offering heating, cooling, and plumbing solutions. Right now, get $50 off any plumbing service when you mention the Indy Fuel. Call Control Tech at 317-873-3737 today and reboot your home comfort.
Dr. David Moody and Dr. Kevin Boyd with Gallagher Chiropractic Group are the official chiropractors for the Indy Fuel. With multiple professionals and decades of experience, we are able to offer a level of expertise and knowledge that is world class. Our office provides chiropractic, nutrition, decompression therapy, and massage therapy. To schedule an appointment, contact us today by phone or text at 317-571-1480 or GallagherChiroGroup.com.
Now back for more Indy Fuel hockey action.
3 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the second period. The Indy Fuel had a 3-0 lead. It has been whittled to 3-2 thanks to Wichita scoring 2 straight power play goals. And you had one team that's been struggling on the power play, one team that's been struggling on the penalty kill, and so far it's been the Fuel's penalty kill struggles that have continued. They are currently Wichita's 2 for 6 with the man advantage tonight. And as you play with fire enough, you're going to get burned. You keep giving teams power plays, and you can watch that lead just continue to dwindle. Puck played in behind the Fuel goal. Getting to it is Krasa. He ends up trying to center and hit the bottom of the cage, and nobody from the Fuel saw it, just sitting in the slot. Finally, Tucker did send it over to the far boards, and the Fuel settle it down. Leskoski at his own line with 3:05 to go in the period. Headmans it to Broadhurst. He'll retreat back through neutral ice, tries to find an opening. Up the right side, brings it into the zone. Being watched by Lloyd. Looked to feed Joseph in the circle, but that pass is intercepted and cleared out to neutral ice. The Thunder may have numbers. Bates across the line. Curls back, feeds Stenell, sidesteps a check, cuts toward the middle. Feeds it toward the circle for Dickman. That's blocked, but Beck picks it up. Beck along the right wing. He's tied up by Grima. Joseph comes in to try to dig the puck free. And it finally comes out to center, and it's picked up by Eric Martin with some speed. Maybe a 2-on-1 across the line. He hits the trailer pocket, shoots, and it missed the target. And the rebound came out to neutral ice, and now Wichita's got numbers. Bates brings it up the right side. Joseph racing back. Beck looks to center, but Nick Grima standing right in front of his own net. He intercepts that. Schultz across the fuel line, feeds Grima in the slot. Across the far side for Eric Martin. Pass didn't connect. Clearing pass, broken up in the slot, taken by Schultz. He fires on goal. And Carriere again, square to the shooter, makes the save. With 2:01 to go, he'll gobble it up to get a whistle. So...
And just want to highlight, we're highlighting right now our athletic training month here. It's March, and so just want to highlight our amazing 4 athletic trainers and the student athletes. They are so amazing in everything that they do for the Fuel. So shout out those 4.
Yeah, our outstanding training staff here.
And shout out Wichita. She's had her work cut out for her today.
Yeah, they've had a couple of players injured in this game. And they're already skating a man down. They started the game with 17 skaters, and right now they've only got 15. There's a lot of room on that bench due to an injury and a match penalty. Christian Berger's shot blocked wide. Marcusan tries to free the stick, has it in the office. Now takes it out to the corner. Marcusan up the left wing boards, being hounded, and lost the puck to Blackwell. He'll zip it out to center. Chris Cameron gets it back and sends it back in deep into the Wichita end. Carrier behind his own goal. Around to Filion, and Ardicia kicks it out to center. Lee Lapide comes over to break that up. Marcusan brings it forward into the zone. Marcusan tried to play it back to the point of Berger, but couldn't free his stick to do it. And Ardicia takes the puck, and he'll flip it to the inboards in the Fuel end. 1:20 to go. In period number 2, Lapide stops the puck. Backhands it across Cameron, bunts it forward. Marcusan, he'll hoist it to the inboards in the Wichita end, allow the Fuel to get a change. Jetty, long feed ahead to Finnegan, backhands it into the left wing corner in the Fuel end. Jesse Tucker chips it past the first forechecker, but Finnegan takes it back, centering pass. However, thankfully for the Fuel, found nobody as Wallen was in the slot, but he had vacated the path of that pass, and they clear. Now here's Petgrave stealing a puck at center, brings it into the zone, into the left wing circle, and Lloyd was able to block his shot. Broadhurst takes it off the inboards, trying to free himself on a tour of the attacking zone. Broadhurst to the left wing circle, hands it off to Leskoski. He brings it out high into the slot. Leskoski fans out, looking for a shooting lane. Leskoski centers for Broadhurst, couldn't pull the trigger on the shot. It's still loose above the crease, spiked over to the far boards, taken back by the Fuel. Grima down the boards. 20 seconds to go in the period. Fans out of the point, feeds Tucker, top of the left wing circle, shoots! Looking for a redirection, but Leskoski batted it wide. Leskoski with 11 seconds to go. Curls out to the boards, looks to take it a goal, backhands it. It was banked off of Lloyd's skates over to the far corner, and Wichita will gain possession, send it to an open corner, and the second period will end. Well, the Indy Fuel had a good start to the period as Lee Lapide and Cody Leskoski scored to make it a 3-0 game, but then 4 consecutive penalties taken by the Fuel. Wichita takes advantage. A goal by Mikkel Stenell, and then one by Noah Beck on a 5-on-3 allows the Thunder to get back in the game, and it's now a 3-2 contest. Shots on goal in the period, 9 for the Fuel for a game total of 22, 6 for Wichita for a game total of 16. The Thunder were 2 for 4 on the power play in that period and are 2 for 6 for the game. The Fuel did not have a power play in the second period. They are 0 for 2 for the game. We'll take a break, come back with a second intermission show right after this. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
When you're dealing with a sports injury, getting back out there is the first thing on your mind. We know the feeling. Our sports medicine team cares for thousands of student athletes across central Indiana. In addition to physicians and athletic trainers, you'll have access to experts in physical therapy, imaging, and more. And with convenient locations near you, we help make healing as simple as possible. Learn more at ecommunity.com/sports. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Fuel fans, don't let plumbing problems freeze you out this winter. Control Tech has been your trusted home comfort team for more than 40 years, offering heating, cooling, and plumbing solutions. Right now, get $50 off any plumbing service when you mention the Indy Fuel. Call Control Tech at 317-873-3737 today and reboot your home comfort.
Don't miss a second of the action. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Second intermission here at the Fishers Event Center. The Indy Fuel leading the Wichita Thunder 3-2, although that lead, thanks to a couple of Wichita power play goals, has become very precarious. We mentioned now the Fuel have allowed power play goals in 12 of their last 14 games, and now that is 15 power play goals and 58 opportunities in that span. And so that has been an issue. That's 26% now over that 16 game span that they have allowed power play goals. And I think I had it 12 of 14. It's actually now 14 of 16 games that they have allowed a power play goal, and 2 today. And that obviously, when you've got a 3-0 lead, when you take a lot of penalties, you're going to give an opportunity for the other team to get back in the game. That's exactly what the Fuel did. But a great start to the period, Eva, that led to building that 3-0 lead. And it's good that they've got those insurance goals right now.
Yeah, it was a great start to the period, especially there with Lee Lapide and Cody Laskoski really bringing in the energy. And that's what they need to keep up for the third period. However, what I think is going to be so key is not taking those post-whistle penalties. And that's exactly where the Fuel were thorned again today, is that whole penalty after penalty after penalty started with Chris Cameron taking a post-whistle roughing penalty. Then it kind of dominoed effect from there, and the Fuel just could not stay 5-on-5, thus allowing 2 power play goals from Wichita. And so really needing to clean that up. And even looking at last year against each other, Wichita and the Fuel, and while there is a different makeup, the Fuel were only 1 for 6 on the power play, and they were 3 for 11 on the kill. They allowed in 3 power play goals for Wichita, and those power play goals, Andrew, you and I remember, they were the difference maker in that final game they played against each other. And so needing to make sure that you stay 5-on-5 because you're really out competing them.
Yeah, and the Fuel 5-on-5 are +3. When they're not 5-on-5, they're -2. And, you know, the kill started off great. 5-minute kill, including 2 minutes of those 5-on-3 right at the start of the game. But you keep giving a good team opportunities, and a team with this much talent, and they're going to take advantage. So Nick Rima got it started. His first of the season at 8:02 of the first from Petgrave and Broadhurst made it 1-0. Lee Lapide on a really nice cut to the middle move gave the Fuel a 2-0 lead at 3:39 of the second from Brett Moravec. That was his 12th of the year. And then Cody Laskoski made it 3-0 on a nice play down the middle. Christian Berger and Lee Lapide had the assists at 6:33. But then the Fuel started with a post-whistle penalty on Chris Cameron, took 4 consecutive penalties. Mikkel Stenell made them pay for the first one, his 13th from Beck and Bates at 9:11, made it 3-1. And then back-to-back high-sticking penalties gave Wichita a 5-on-3, and Noah Beck took advantage, his 9th of the year from Stenell and Bates at 14 minutes, made it 3-2. So 2 power play goals for Wichita. They're 2 for 6 with a man advantage. Indy is 0 for 2. The Fuel outshooting the Thunder 22-16. Basically all of the Thunder shots have come with the man advantage. So that's the way things look through 2 periods. We're going to take a break. Come back with the ECHL Plays of the Week right after this. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
From across America's premier AA hockey league, this is the ECHL Plays of the Week.
High slap shot off the glove and in. Now for the net, he scores! He slipped back out to the blue line. Shot, score! Rodney scores! Let's rewrite the record book. It's a hat trick. Skates in over the line. Deeks shoots. In the slot, shot, save. Game is over.
March Madness in the ECHL means races are heating up across the league as the playoff push shifts into high gear. Welcome to this week's ECHL Plays of the Week. I am Andrew Smith, the voice of the Indy Fuel. We begin with the South Division leading Florida Everblades. They have reeled off 10 consecutive games without a regulation loss, propelling the team back into first place in the division. Veteran defenseman Jordan Sambrook has been a stalwart on the Everblades blue line with a plus 37 rating, second best in the ECHL. Sambrook netted 3 goals over the weekend, including this shorthanded tally Thursday against Orlando.
And is worked back up ice, the Everblades with a 3-on-1 break shorthanded. Sambrook shooting, save made, rebound in front. Unger stops that, now a chance, another chance, score! Sambrook scores! He gets his second of the year. And the Everblades with back-to-back games scoring shorthanded goals lead at 1-0.
That's Mike Kelly with the call on the Florida Everblades TV network. We remain in the Sunshine State where the Orlando Solar Bears turned back the clock to 2001 last Saturday night with a return to the IHL purple and teal colors for a throwback night, honoring the 2001 Turner Cup champions. It was Aaron Luchuk who beat the clock with this last-second power play goal in the first period against the Everblades.
Good draw win by Bardero. Wrist shot, Brett save. Rebound, Luchuk scores! At the horn! They'll review it. I think it's going to count.
After video review, the call on the ice is confirmed. Good goal.
Okay, it was a goal on the ice, and it's confirmed the goal. It goes in with 0.3 of a second left.
That was Joey Bettino with the call on the Orlando Solar Bears Hockey Network. Moving up the coast, South Carolina was looking to finish off a sweep of a 3-3 hosting Savannah on Sunday, and the Stingrays dominated as forwards Charlie Combs and Stan Cooley both recorded their first ECHL hat tricks.
Fires it out to the top with Fusco. The righty with it, down to the near circle, left it for Combs, a shot, he scores! It's a hat trick for Charlie Combs! He snipes it over the shoulder, short side. Giesbrecht plays it behind the net, taken away by Locust, spins it out in front, Cooley, a hat trick! The first hat trick of the professional career for Stan Cooley, and the second here today for South Carolina.
It was the first time since February 26th of last year that a team had 2 hat tricks in the same game as the Stingrays won 7-1. That was Brendan Riley with the call of the Stingrays Broadcast Network. The Norfolk Admirals claimed forward James Hardy off waivers at 3 p.m. on Friday afternoon ahead of their game against the Gargoyles in Greensboro Friday night. Hardy drove from Jacksonville, Florida to Greensboro to join the Admirals mid-game and appeared at the start of the second period. After only 20 minutes of game time, Hardy was given a chance in the Norfolk power play at the start of the third.
Looks to the near side circle for Crane, rips one over the crossbar, and Hardy picks it off the boards on the far side. Hardy walks in, shot, score! Fresh out of the car ride, James Hardy rips one 5-hole on Nikita Kwok, and it's his first goal as an Admiral to tie it up.
While Greensboro would go on to win the game, Hardy's determination and perseverance shown last Friday may well have found him a new home in Norfolk. That was Nick Gimbel on the Norfolk Admirals Broadcast Network. On Wednesday, the Adirondack Thunder scored late with the net empty to force overtime against Reading. And in overtime, Sean Olsen secured the comeback win for the Thunder's 10th win in a row.
And Olsen will just bring it out of the zone. 3:04 to go in OT. Sean Olsen is going to wait as some personnel changes underway. Here comes the Thunder. Carabas leaves and Olsen scores! Jeremy Brodeur, the hero in overtime, and Sean Olsen wins it, and it's 10 in a row for the Adirondack Thunder.
That was Rob Lapolis on Hits 95.9 and the Thunder Broadcast Network. The Maine Mariners made their long-awaited return to Portland on Sunday afternoon, taking on the Trois-Rivières Lions in their first home game in almost a month. Having won 7 in a row to close the trip, Maine had tied its franchise-long win streak. They were looking to break into the record books upon the return home. Despite giving up the first 2 goals of the game, Maine struck twice with 2 goals 34 seconds apart in the second period, tying the game through 40 minutes. It looked like overtime was on the menu, but Mariners forward Linus Hemstrom had other ideas.
Felix gets it ahead, followed by Lampa. Lampa behind to Hemstrom. Hemstrom in front. Scores! Linus Hemstrom threw the puck into the slot. It deflected in. And with 49 seconds to go, the Mariners lead 3-2.
That was Michael Keeley with the call on the Maine Mariners Broadcast Network. Maine goes for 9 in a row on Friday in Trois-Rivières before finishing with 14 of their final 20 on home ice. It was a whirlwind weekend in the North Division as Worcester, Trois-Rivières, Adirondack, and Maine all played each other across a 3-day span. The Worcester Railers opened Friday in Canada, where Drew Callan got creative on a pass from Cole Donhauser in the second period to give Worcester the eventual game-winning goal over the Lions.
It is a 1-1 game. Worcester peels it off the boards, and it is again Donhauser and Callan in a 2-on-1. Donhauser into the skates of Callan, and he scores! Drew Callan, my word! Just like he drew it up, it's a 2-1 hockey game. 8 minutes to go in the second period. He kicked it to his forehand, pulled it to his backhand, and absolutely undressed Gaudreau as he gives Worcester the lead once more.
Callan has 7 goals and 3 game winners in the last 6 games for Worcester. That was Tim Foley on the call for 98.9 Nash Icon, the Worcester Railers radio network. Last Saturday, the Tahoe Night Monsters headed to Utah to take on the Grizzlies for the final time in franchise history. After Tahoe got out to a 2-0 lead in the second period in the final game of the series, rookie forward Connor Merritt found the back of the net in the final 90 seconds of the frame to put Tahoe up a trio of goals.
Adam getting towards the middle of the slot, drops for Merritt, a shot, he scores! They add to the lead at the end of the second, and it's Connor Merritt who makes it 3-0 Tahoe.
Merritt now has 5 goals this season after finishing his collegiate career at Alaska Anchorage. Tahoe won the game 4-1 and won 6 out of the 9 matchups this season against Utah. That was Brendan Paul on the call for the Night Monsters Broadcast Network. We finish in Indy, where the Fuel won the first 2 games of a 6-game homestand last week and did so with a big start at each game. Friday night against Iowa, defenseman Matt Petgrave started his second straight 3-point game with his keep and feed in front. You'll hold it in. Green to Petgrave, sidesteps a check, right down to the slot, feeds it in front, they score! The Fuel's forecheck keeps turning pucks over. Matt Petgrave made that happen as he kept it in, went around a check and fed Cody Laskowski in front, who put it home. The Fuel lead it 1-0. Cody Laskowski's goal was his first since New Year's Eve and propelled the Fuel to a 5-2 victory. That was yours truly, Andrew Smith, on the Indy Fuel Broadcast Network. Thank you for joining us on this week's ECHL Plays of the Week. I am Andrew Smith, the voice of the Indy Fuel, wishing you a great week.
Fuel fans, don't let plumbing problems freeze you out this winter. Control Tech has been your trusted home comfort team for more than 40 years, offering heating, cooling, and plumbing solutions. Right now, get $50 off any plumbing service when you mention the Indy Fuel. Call Control Tech at 317-873-3737 today and reboot your home comfort.
This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Getting set for the third period here at the Fishers Event Center tonight. The Indy Fuel leading the Wichita Thunder 3-2. That lead was at one time 3-0, but a couple of power play goals have gotten Wichita back in it. Still 7 periods of hockey between these two teams, and I think one thing we've seen so far, the Fuel very good 5-on-5, but you don't want to take penalties against this Wichita team, and unfortunately the Fuel put them in the power play 6 times tonight.
And both teams are really going to try and set the tone for each other for the Friday and Saturday matches, and so that's going to be really key here. To also make sure that when you're setting the tone, you're not, getting into these post-whistle penalties. There's a way to set the tone, and that's a win.
Fuel moving from left to right as you picture this rink in your mind's eye for the third period. Jesse Tucker's line on to take the draw, and the Fuel control. Feed for Laskowski hits him in the skates, but he retreats back to his own line to pick it up. Fuel turn it over. Fillion will play it up the left side for Blackwell. Stabs at it. Fillion below the goal line. He's rubbed off the play by Cameron. And Christian Berger loses an edge, but is able to move it to Jesse Tucker along the boards. Leskoski gloves it down, drops it off for Chris Cameron, and Christian Berger will exit the zone. High flip to the Wichita line, glove down by Lloyd. He gets the next touch. Fillion up the left wing, centers, and Nardicia tried to give it back to Fillion, but he got a stick lifted by Chris Cameron, and Cody Leskoski takes the puck and will flip it in deep. Carriere, the goaltender, will leave it for the D. Proctor, D to D to Lloyd. Up the far side, Dickman, rink-wide pass for Stenell. He kicks it to a stick, gains the line, and tries to backhand it through the slot, but could not find Peter Bates. Puck rimmed around, Proctor chops it toward the slot. It's loose, kicks over to the near circle where Nick Rima tries to find it, chips it off the glass. Back to the Wichita line. Dickman backhands it to Stenell. Back to Dickman. Redirects it into the fuel end. Petgrave takes it back and sends it out to neutral ice. Nolan Neen at his own line. Played a minute 25 of the third period. 3-2 Fuel. Proctor. Missed stick handled. Merrick Martin takes it away. Spins away from a check. Gains the line. Up the right side. Hits the trailer. Paquette, who misses high and wide. Pass was a little behind him and he had to regather it. And when he did, he ended up throwing it over the net. Wichita ices the puck. We've got a whistle with 18-19 to go in the third period. Fuel leading at 3-2.
And Indy, when leading after the second period, they are 15-2-3, so reminiscent of their stat from the first period. And Wichita, when trailing after the second, is 5-16-0-1, so Wichita have been able to claim points in 6 of their games when trailing. Indy, 18.
Yeah, when you've got 5 wins when trailing after 2, that's a pretty good number, eh? And I think that says a lot about the firepower this team has. And now here they come through the neutral zone, 2-on-2 across the line. Wallen looks to center, block comes back to him, backhands it just wide from the low slot. Siobhan takes the rebound off the inboards, tries to send it ahead to Eric Martin. He's tied up, and the Thunder take the puck. And it'll be sent in deep by Noah Beck. Siobhan around the near boards. Eric Martin again spins away from a check. Jetty holds it in. He'll cycle it back in deep. A little too far for Krasa. Paquette waits for it to get to him, but then he sees Fillion coming. Loose puck picked up by Eric Martin, and he'll softly play it up the right wing into the Wichita end. Fuel will get a change. Play 2.5 minutes of the third. Jetty up the left side back. Now Jetty to start the breakout. Long feed to the Fuel line to Finnegan. He looked to center, but that was broken up by Berger and backhanded out to center by Chris Cameron. Proctor will hammer it back in deep. Week stops it behind his own goal. Hands off to the D for Christian Berger. Behind his own net, 17-10 to go. Berger slowly holding, starts the breakout. Up the left side it comes Lapete. Cuts toward the middle across his own line. Gains center red and fires it in. It hits the back of the cage. Marcusan across, and a centering pass ends up banking off of a leg and ending up on goal off the stick of Brandon Schultz, and Carriere had to be Johnny on the spot to make that stop and cover it up. 16:53 to go. Fuel lead is 3-2.
And that's where the Fuel have found success earlier, when they fly the zone, and especially when they crowd the net, when they get messy in the slot, and especially down Main Street, that's where the Fuel are really able to slip against Wichita. So really just trying to emulate their success here and have a strong first half of the period, just like they have in the first and second.
Yeah, Wichita's a team that they like to play more of an end-to-end game. They're 5th in the league in shots for, and they're near the bottom in shots allowed. The Fuel are 2nd in the league in shot suppression, but they're near the bottom in shots for. Here's Cody Leskoski behind the goal, feeds Broadhurst, has it poked off of his stick, but he gets it back along the left wing boards. Drops it off to Grima at the point. In front for Petgrave, and he swept it wide. Broadhurst puts it back on goal, redirected by Jesse Tucker, and the save made by Carriere. Jetty takes the puck out of harm's way and out of the zone. Send to the Fuel line. Dickman has it poked off of his stick. Area pass, Leskoski ahead to Robinson across the line. Cuts the middle, he shoots, but Carriere again square to the shooter. Makes the save and gobbles it up. Gets a whistle. 16:12 to go. Third period. Fuel leading at 3-2.
And it's almost those like rinse and repeat plays that the Fuel are trying to emulate, but again, they're going to get a lot of success off their face-off plays. The Fuel, and especially under head coach Duncan Dalmeo, really thrive on, winning the face-offs and creating successful opportunities from them.
Lee Lapide to take the draw in the right wing circle in between Moravec and Robinson. And Finnegan, false started, but he'll be able to go again. And they face off controlled by the Fuel. Siobhan has some space, right point, shoots, redirected on goal, save, rebound, pinballing around at the top of the crease, and Moravec put it just wide. Swept up to the point, Siobhan. Left point, Innes. Behind the goal, Moravec. Sends it further along, looking for Robinson along the right wing boards. He's trying to shake free of Beck's check. And Lapide comes over to help out. Tried to play it up to the point. That was picked off by Wallen and cleared out to center. Lee Lapide gets away from Krasicek with some speed across the line, and his dump in hit Wallen's skate and is cleared back to the Fuel line by Wichita. Eric Martin chips it ahead, Paquette. He'll wheel it across the Wichita line, feed it toward the right wing corner, get to it himself. Paquette tried to play it behind his own goal for Eric Martin. It squirts free in front of the cage and forced wide. Picked up by Paquette, back diagonal to the point, shot by Berger right on, and a pad save made by the Wichita goaltender Carriere. Thunder clear back into the Fuel end. Christian Berger has it for Indy. D to Chris Cameron. He'll start the breakout up the near side. Feed it ahead to Joseph, right to the tape, and he'll turn while being checked and send it in, but Proctor picks it off in his own zone. He goes all the way across the ice laterally before backhanding it in deep. Weeks hands off to the D. Berger up the far side. Joseph's rink-wide pass doesn't connect with Cameron, but Cameron did a good job of making sure that Nardicia couldn't get to the puck. Here comes Broadhurst across the line. He shoots, fought off by Carriere. He had no idea where the rebound was. Broadhurst sends it up to the point for Greba. He fires, and Carriere squeezes the 5-hole to make sure that it is closed and makes the pad save with 14:33 to go. Fuel buzzing here early in the third, but haven't been able to find that insurance goal yet. The lead remains 1.
A really good setup again there by Terry Broadhurst. He just brings in so much hustle and energy, and again complemented by someone of speed. And not to say Broadhurst doesn't have speed. There's times where he absolutely flies the zone, but him complemented alongside Nick Grima just made for a really good opportunity.
Jesse Tucker to take the face-off. Peter Bates, he didn't fake it. He sends it over to the near boards, winning it to Grima. He'll jam it behind the goal, looking for Leskoski. He's checked off the play. Nolan Neen forces it up the far side. Jay Dickman, area pass, looking for Stenell. He's cut off by Grima, and then levies a hip check, and Grima is still down right in front of the Fuel bench. He's trying to get up, finally does, and skates off. Stenell behind the goal, Bates. And he is checked by Siobhan. Tucker takes the puck, can't clear, and now the Fuel scrambling here. Stenell across for Bates, right across the goal mouth, but the pass didn't connect. Dickman rims it around. Terry Broadhurst will steer it out to center. And Fuel will make one player change as Lee Lapide hops off the bench. And now a miscommunication. Matt Petgrave lost the puck at the side of the cage, and it led to a scoring chance for Wichita. Mitchell Weeks had to make a Johnny-on-the-spot save, and then covers after the rebound was sent right back to him. 13:42 to go in the third period. We should be taking a timeout now, and I don't know why we're not. And I think the officials do realize, we are taking a timeout. 13:42 to go, third period. Fuel leading at 3-2. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
When you're dealing with a sports injury, getting back out there is the first thing on your mind. We know the feeling. Our sports medicine team cares for thousands of student athletes across central Indiana. In addition to physicians and athletic trainers, you'll have access to experts in physical therapy, imaging, and more. And with convenient locations near you, we help make healing as simple as possible. Learn more at ecommunity.com/sports. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
At Abrams Eye Care, our skilled team of ophthalmologists, optometrists, opticians, and professional staff strive to treat our patients with the greatest efficiency, professionalism, and kindness. Each of our 3 Abrams Eye Care locations desire for you to enjoy a lifetime of visual health and wellness. We take pride in our excellent patient satisfaction rating and our reputation as one of the most comprehensive eye care groups in Central Indiana since 1950. We are honored to be the official eye doctor for the Indy Fuel and Fisher's Freight. Visit our new Abrams Eye Care location in Carmel.
Don't miss a second of the action. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Fuel leading at 3-2 with 13:42 to go in the third. Along with Eva Hallman, I'm Andrew Smith. And face-off in the Fuel end. Indy's able to clear right off the draw. Beck has it at his own line. Leaves it for Jetty, and now Beck has it back. Sidesteps a check at center, brings it across the Fuel line. Shoots, glove save. Weeks, he'll cover to get a whistle with 13:26 to go. Noah Beck is an NHL contracted defenseman. Has a goal and an assist tonight. Contracted to the San Jose Sharks. He is their one NHL contracted skater. Carrier's also an NHL contract. And now with goal and assist tonight, got 41 points on the year, one of the top scoring defensemen in the league. And also one of the top scoring rookies in the ECHL. Rookie out of Clarkson University, and then played last year at Arizona State for Greg Powers. And North Central High School grad is the head coach of the Sun Devils. Tyler Jetty across in his own end. Feed ahead for Finnegan. The one Kansan on this Wichita team. He's from the Topeka area, from Tecumseh, Kansas. And Crassus sandwiched by Martin and Siobhan. 44 and 88. And doubling the number there on that check. Puck back into the Fuel end. Ennis tried to play it back for Siobhan. Was able to get it through a forechecker to do so. Siobhan out to center. Redirected to the Wichita line by Paquette. TJ Lloyd picks it up there. And he'll feed it ahead. The right side lateral pass for Proctor. Across the line it comes. Berger will take it behind his own goal. Or to the near side camera. Out to Leskoski. He'll skate it up the right wing through center. And he feeds it in deep. Goes after it himself. The right wing corner. But the play was ruled offside. So, Eric Frank, the linesman, and are they going to rule that an intentional offside? They're taking the puck all the way back into the Fuel end. Chris Cameron is arguing, but Eric Frank, he is accomplished. He works a little bit in the ECHL, but primarily works in the National Collegiate Hockey Conference. Worked a couple of games in Ireland earlier this year. He's worked a Frozen Four. He's a very accomplished linesman at multiple levels, the college and pro. Face-off won by Wichita. Lloyd over to the near boards. Dickman hooks it wide, looking for Bates. It went past him. Karam's off the end boards, and the Fuel can't clear. Nice hold by Dickman briefly, but then it's taken back out. Leskoski gains center red, winds it in, and he comes charging after it. Proctor plays it away from him behind his own goal. Lloyd sweeps it up the boards. Jesse Tucker steals. Broadhurst for the Fuel. Inside the blue line, backhands it just wide. Tucker takes it off the inboards, looks to center for Broadhurst. He couldn't get a stick on it. Leskoski up to the point for a shot that hits the pile in front. And Stenell clears it out to center, back into the Fuel end. Christian Berger will pick it up. Take it behind his own goal. 11:37 to go in the third. 3-2 Fuel. Tucker gains the red line, winds it in. Marcus into the right wing corner. He takes a check from Jetty and comes out of there with the puck, hands it off to Robinson. He swoops behind the goal. Robinson still on the puck as he takes to the left wing boards. Sends it behind the net for Marcus and battling with Jetty. Jetty kicks it up the boards for Robinson. He shoots, but it was blocked in front. May have been some friendly fire. I think that hit Marcus but Wichita's clearing pass hits the scoreboard. There's 11:10 to go in the third period. That's your reminder. The Fisher's Freight season begins next Saturday night. Normally, we're trying to avoid the scoreboard with kickoffs, but you can get your tickets as the Freight open up 5 o'clock next Saturday against Quad City. And so we look forward to seeing you as Dixie Wooten and the Freight begin their second season of the Indoor Football League. Get your tickets at fishersfreightfootball.com or ticketmaster.com.
And I do want to provide a quick update. Nick Grima is back on the ice from his check. He did appear to be in some pain, but obviously powering through it.
As the puck, right off the draw, his shot blocked over the net. Eric Martin takes it to the inboards, behind the goal. Looking for a passing opening, shakes away from a check, puts it out toward the goal, but Carriere read it and pounced on the loose puck to get a whistle. With 11:01 to go. Still quite a few Hardy fans have stuck around past 11 o'clock. We have been here for 11 seasons. And there are 12 seasons here with the Indy Fuel, the second here at the Fishers Vet Center. And this is the latest a game has ever been played in the regular season. We had a playoff game with Toledo back in 2018 that went to double overtime before Christian Hilbrick scored.
Yes.
Game winner late. That's about the only night I can remember here. If you are going to be shorthanded, here's a shot.
Oh.
It goes wide from Krasa, and Wichita will get its 5th consecutive power play. They're bringing it through center, and there was some contact, and the Thunder player went down, and, well, let's get the penalty call. It's Petgrave as well, and that's one of your best penalty killers.
Yes, especially when now Wichita has the opportunity to tie up the game with 10 minutes left. You really got to have a strong penalty kill.
Well, Wichita's 2 for 6 with a man advantage tonight. They scored both of those goals in the second period. Matt Petgrave off for tripping. So once again, the Thunder with a chance to tie the game on the power play. And they have done very little 5-on-5, but their power play has been very good tonight. And it has been Stinnell, Beck, and Bates, who are all on the ice, that have combined on the 2 goals. Bates has it, sends a low redirected save made by Weeks on Dickman on that redirection from the side of the blue paint. Jesse Tucker wins a puck to Broadhurst, but he couldn't get it past Beck. He shoots over the net as it was blocked. Held in by Stinnell at the left point. Drops it off for Bates. Right side for Beck. He sidesteps a check, tried to play it up to the point, blocked by Tucker. He will slowly clear it all the way down. Minute 25 to go on the Wichita power play. 3-2 our score. Peter Bates in his own end. Wheels it across his own line. Drops it off for the D. Lapide and Paquette, the penalty-killing forwards. Innes and Grima are the D. Lapide tried to send a pass for Paquette. He bunts it backwards for Innes, and he clears it again. Halfway through the kill, Fuel swap out the forwards as Marcus and Robinson cowboy over the boards. Peter Bates at his own line. Feeds it up the right side for Blackwell. He'll shoot it wide in through both corners to Dickman, up to the point for Beck. Beck being engaged by Marcus and able to move it to Dickman, and it was picked up by Robinson. And the Fuel can't clear. Robinson tried to skate it out and turn it over at the line. And so now Wichita back at it. Blackwell across to Beck. Pass was behind him. He takes it off the boards. His pass blocked by Robinson, right back to him. Beck into the corner for Dickman. Backhands it for Blackwell. His shot blocked wide by Robinson. Centering pass blocked again, and this time Marcusan will clear it all the way down. 15 seconds to go on the Wichita power play. Some nervy moments there after a failed clearance. Neen behind his own goal. Turns it with 7 seconds to go on the power play. Brings it up the middle. Headmans it for Proctor. Played away from him. Joseph tried to send it all the way down, but Neen blocked it over to the far boards. We are back to 5 aside. The Fuel now 5 for 7 on the kill. Petgraves out of the box, brings it up the middle, across the line, drops it off for Paquette along the left wing, looks to center, and ended up throwing it toward the goal. But it's held out by Carriere. The puck cleared out to center as Berger couldn't hold it in at the line. 8:25 to go. Neen. Stretch pass Finnegan across the line, comes in, shoots, save, and the puck trickled behind Weeks. He reaches back to cover, couldn't, but it was put wide. That trickled behind him. He reached back, tried to cover it, and it was cleared away from him and then put wide by the Thunder. The Fuel iced the puck with 8:05 to go. Well, we've had a couple of hold-your-breath moments here in the last few minutes, and they're trying to go that 6-hole underneath the blocker arm, and Chris Cameron came in to sweep that wide.
And he just shoved the Wichita player out of the way. He's like, get out of my crease.
And Mitchell Weeks, he was reaching back to cover the puck, and then Cameron came over and got it out of harm's way.
Also wanted to mention that throughout all these penalty kills, we're without one of our best penalty killers, Jordan Martin.
Yeah, he has not been in action. He got hurt in Saturday's game. A clearing pass hits something, and Wichita regains possession. Cameron trying to work it free from Filion. Now Christian Berger, clearing pass. He tried to go D-to-D behind his own goal and threw it off the bottom of his own net. And again, the Fuel just have to ice the puck to relieve the pressure. Their puck management here the last couple of minutes has been a bit of an adventure. And Wichita, again, this is a team with some high-end talent, and they are taking advantage right now.
And that is what they're going to do. They're opportunistic, and they will really try and isolate and just find out where the Fuel's cracks and weaknesses are. And so for the Fuel, puck management's got to be cleaner here with 7:41 left, because you know Wichita's going to throw everything and anything out Weeks.
Fuel win the defensive zone draw. Chris Cameron, high flip out to center, glove down by Lloyd. Noah Beck at his own line, drops it off for Lloyd. He'll retreat back to give himself a passing lane. Feed for Finnegan, doesn't connect. It's an icing. That's a break for the Fuel. Number one, they get a chance to change, and number two, they get a chance to get an attacking zone draw, as it feels like they've been in their own end for a good little bit here, really since the penalty that was taken about 3.5 minutes ago. They've been on their heels a bit. Shots in this period are 5-4 in favor of the Fuel.
And for the Fuel, you don't want to be on your heels with 7:27 left, especially because Wichita is really keen on those end-to-end actions.
Yeah, they really like to. Yeah, here's a centering pass for Broadhurst. Doesn't connect as the Fuel win the draw. Held into the point by Ennis to Tucker. Leskoski shoots from along the goal line, and a positional save made by Carriere. Steers the rebound out to Wallen. He'll spin it up the right wing. Karam's behind the Fuel net. Siobhan chips it around. Tucker couldn't get it through the pinching Jetty. Tucker gets it back for the Fuel. Drops it off for the D. And Ennis headmans it out to Broadhurst. Takes a lateral route through the neutral zone and then chips it in behind the Wichita net. Hey, it's late. And now here's a feed that's a little too far for Bates, and a good job by Matt Petgrave, because Bates was on his horse, and Petgrave turned on the Jets to beat Bates to the line and record an icing call.
And for the Fuel right now, really just struggling to put the pieces together. You know, they're really, like Andrew, you mentioned, puck management has just been in a disarray. And with 6:43 left, you want to make sure, at the very least, you say 5-on-5. That's got to be key.
Lapide to take the draw, has Robinson the shooter's hole. Moravec to the inside. Grima and Petgrave are the D. Peter Bates' line out there for Wichita. And the Thunder win it. Jetty feeds it out to center. Grima stops it, fires one on goal from neutral ice. And what do we got, a whistle? I think the Fuel might have been offside. Jake Paw, the linesman, whistles that, so face-off will come out to neutral ice. I'm going to put it at the center dot, actually.
Really a choppy third period. Both teams trying to establish a tone, and obviously Wichita knows it's just a one-goal game and can just be opportunistic with a lucky puck bounce or something. And so choppiness is a huge thing to do right here in the third.
Fuel win the neutral zone draw, send it to the Wichita end. Bates behind his own goal to Nolan Neen. I think Bruce Ramsey's done with this Wichita team is he's basically kept this core together for several years. Here's Dickman up the left side, Bates. Dickman's been in a Thunder uniform for nearly 400 games. Here's Paquette behind the goal. His own net, able to hand it off to Petgrave. Petgrave will backhand it, but batted out of the air by Proctor. He shoots, blocked in front by Grima, and he steers it to the line, and Jaden Joseph will take it out to center. Up the left wing, 2-on-2 across the line as Eric Martin joining the rush. Joseph tried to feed it across from Martin. It was blocked. Joseph tried to get it back, and it's chipped out to center. Christian Berger hustling back. Icing will not be called as the puck never got to the line. Blackwell did a really good job of skating back to force that play as well. Jaden Joseph will feed it into the right wing in the Wichita end with 5.5 to go. Fuel leading at 3-2. That was our score at the end of the second period. 4 of the game's 5 goals were scored in the second, each team with 2. Nick Grima got it started in the first with a very weird goal. A dump in that basically Carriere kicked into his own net. Fuel play it in deep. Lloyd behind his own goal with Leskoski coming. Leskoski takes the puck, feeds Tucker in the circle. Shot fought off by Carriere. And now Wichita wants transition the other way. Finnegan couldn't push it through Ennis, who stood him up. And his D partner, Siobhan, takes the puck. Here's Leskoski gaining the line. Shoot, stick save made by Carriere. Rebound over to the far side for Tucker. Trying to play it up to the point, but it's picked off by the Thunder. And it's fed in deep by Matt Krasa, but he did so from behind the red line. Icing is the whistle with 4:38 to go, and the Fuel will have an attacking zone draw.
And those are going to be super important in the dwindling minutes because you just know Wichita is going to want any opportunity to go on their offensive zone and have an opportunity to pull their goaltender. And so maybe sneaking in an extra goal or really just gaining momentum and staying near their offensive zone will create less time for Wichita to come back.
Lee Lapide to take the draw. Wins it to Robinson up to the right point. Siobhan, he sends one wide of the cage with a wrister from there. Krasa takes the rebound over to the far boards. He absorbs a hit from Lapide, but stays on the puck. Now Moravec checks him. Krasa kicks it forward, and Finnegan sweeps it out of the zone. Sent right back in by Ennis. The Fuel peel off for a 5-man change. Neen up the left side. Bates wheeling through the neutral zone with some speed across the Fuel line. Give and go with Wallen. Bates chops it in behind the goal. Petgrave steers it, but not out. Puck loose in the slot, pinballing around, and the Fuel play it out of harm's way and into the Wichita end. Paquette gets to it. Right circle, sends it in front for Robinson, but it's parried away. Great back check by Wallen because Robinson was wide open at the far post. Had Wallen not been able to scramble back and get a stick on it. 3:43 to go. Back at his own line. Takes a long feed from Proctor and winds it into the Fuel end. Dickman on the forecheck. As it forced free from him, Eric Martin spins away but can't get it out. Proctor holds it in. And now here is a feed to back left circle. Drops it off. Stinnell. Shot blocked over the net. Dickman has it along the right wing. Behind the goal, and a nice play to force it free from Nardicia, but the Fuel can't corral it. On second effort, Cody Leskoski will chop it back to the Wichita line. Both teams get changes as Proctor retreats back into his own end with 3:07 to go. We'll start keeping our eye on Gabriel Carriere in the Wichita net. Puck redirected to the end boards by Blackwell. Weeks hands off to Christian Berger over to the far side. Lee Lapide able to pirouette away from a check and chip it off the boards to the Wichita line with 2:40 to go. Neen into zone line. Feeds it ahead through the neutral zone. Nardicia give and go with Neen. Shoots from the outside of the right wing circle wide. Blackwell holds it in, sends one goalward. Weeks reaches down with a paddle and covers up to get a whistle. 2:37 to go, third period. The Fuel leading the Thunder 3-2. Eve and I will be back with the exciting conclusion right after this. This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
Fuel fans, don't let plumbing problems freeze you out this winter. Control Tech has been your trusted home comfort team for more than 40 years, offering heating, cooling, and plumbing solutions. Right now, get $50 off any plumbing service when you mention the Indy Fuel. Call Control Tech at 317-873-3737 today and reboot your home comfort.
Dr. David Moody and Dr. Kevin Boyd with Gallagher Chiropractic Group are the official chiropractors for the Indy Fuel. With multiple professionals and decades of experience, we are able to offer a level of expertise and knowledge that is world class. Our office provides chiropractic, nutrition, decompression therapy, and massage therapy. To schedule an appointment, contact us today by phone or text at 317-571-1480 or Gallagher chirogroup.com.
This is Indy Fuel Hockey.
2:37 to go, third period. The Fuel out shooting Wichita 30-21, outscoring them 3-2. Nick Rima's goal in the first, followed by goals by Lee Lapide and Cody Laskoski just under 3 minutes apart in the second. Gave the Fuel a 3-0 lead, but Mikkel Stenell and Noah Beck with power play goals in the second have drawn Wichita within one. Carrier still in the net. Fuel win the defensive zone draw and clear it back into the Wichita end. Proctor will pick it up along the far boards. Marcus Sand in on the forecheck. Proctor will start the breakout up the near side. 2:22 to go. Diagonal feed through the neutral zone, a little too far for Finnegan. The Fuel clear it and end up icing it. They've had so many clearing passes that have ended up on net, but this one ends up going just wide of the post. It didn't miss it by much.
No.
And so an icing is called. Attacking zone draw again for Wichita. 2:14 to go, and keep looking over to Bruce Ramsey, who he's been coaching pro hockey a long time. He's got 597 career wins. He was he's in his 7th season in Wichita. He also coached Tulsa in their first year in the ECHL and their last several in the Central League. And the Fuel control off the draw. Petgrave plays it up the right wing into the Wichita end. Laskoski gets to it in the corner. To Tucker, he shoots. Pad save made by Carrier. Rebound put right through the slot. Nobody home. Dickman takes it off the far boards. Rink-wide pass looking for Stenell. Broken up by the Fuel. Laskoski has it. Carrier was headed to the bench, but when Laskoski grabbed that puck, he had to scramble back. 1:45 to go.
There he goes.
Sent to the end boards. There goes Carrier. Lapide has the puck. He'll scale it out to center. Broken up by Beck there. And now here's a long feed ahead to Beck. Redirects it across the Fuel line. Taken by the Fuel. Here's a 200-foot shot that goes just wide by Lee Lapide. And icing is whistled with 1:25 to go. Boy, Lapide did not miss that by much. Terry Broadhurst down on one knee. Not sure if that's because he's tired or...
Yeah, it may be a little sleepy, and I think Wichita is using their timeout.
You say it's past his bedtime. He's only 37 years old.
It's past my bedtime.
It's
He's
well
got a couple
past
kids.
mine. Yeah, it is well past mine.
It's well past all of our bedtimes here.
Wichita takes a timeout. So Bruce Ramsey will draw something up. I thought they had taken their timeout earlier because before their 5-on-3, they took a long time to discuss the play at the bench. But whatever the case, Wichita using its timeout, so they'll have the goaltender pulled, 6 attackers on with an attacking zone face-off. And they'll have their big guns out there. Peter Bates, who added points number 48 and 49 on the season. Their captain, Jay Dickman, who's got 15 goals on the year. He has scored 30 goals more than once in his career. Mikkel Stenell also has a 2-point game. He's got 40 points.
That Stenell, Beck, and Bates group, they just work so well together, especially on special teams.
Yeah. Beck is out there, Nolan Neen is out there, and Blackwell. So it's basically their number 1 power play unit plus Neen. So they've actually got 2 defensemen on the ice right now, although they don't have a whole lot of forwards left. They only started with 17, and then they've lost 1 to a penalty and 1 to injury. And Matt Petgrave takes the puck in his own end. He'll ice it. So the Fuel ended up killing about 14 seconds on that sequence before another icing. 1:11 to go. Hey, look, if you don't have a play and you want to make sure the puck gets out of the zone, I mean, you don't want to keep taking icings, but at least you give yourself a chance to reset and don't find yourself scrambling. And Finnegan will hop off the bench to replace Blackwell for this face-off in the right wing circle. Finnegan's going to take it against Brett Moravec, or excuse me, against Lee Lapide. Moravec is also out there with Broadhurst, Petgrave, and Grima. And the face-off won by the Fuel. Moravec will send where turn the empty net, and again just misses wide. And so another icing. So 6 seconds run off the clock. We've got 1:05 to go as back-to-back-to-back-to-back icings here.
They're really trying to elongate this long night. But the Fuel, again,
Let's
really
not elongate it any further here.
Correct. And the Fuel really don't want to ice it anymore, but face-off plays just show how key and important they are.
Lapide against Dickman on the draw.
Surprised Lee hasn't been thrown out of the circle
Well,
yet.
you can't after an icing. Lapide wins it. Moravec sends it ahead of Broadhurst. He's able to clear the zone.
Without an icing.
Back in his own end. 56 seconds to go. Across his own line. Feeds it ahead to Finnegan. Gains the Fuel line. And Lapide breaks up the play. Backhands it all the way down. This will be another icing as the whistle stops play with 44.5 seconds to go. That was not a shot at goal. That was just an attempted clearance that he just ate one too many boxes of Wheaties this morning and ended up just getting too much under it. So face-off back in the Fuel end with 44.5 seconds to go. And Nolan Neen will come off the bench. And the face-off one. Neen has it blocked. He comes back to him in the slot, blocked again. Beck center point. Shoots, blocked wide. Finnegan tracks it down along the near boards. Tries to play it up to Neen. And that's intervened by Moravec, but Beck gets to it. And it's blocked by Lapide. And he again just misses on the attempt at the empty net and ices it again.
That's got to be so frustrating.
The Fuel have at least 3 times in this sequence missed an empty net goal by about 6 inches, maybe combined, and they've turned into icings. 25.1 seconds on the clock.
And that's got to be frustrating as a player, especially Lee Lapide, who's done it twice now. And, I mean, there's 25 seconds on the clock, but Wichita put in some good pressure on that last shift.
Yeah, they've got some real talent out there. Stenell in the shooter's hole, Dickman to take the face-off, left wing circle. And they're going to say that it was an unfair drop, so... And they're also going to warn Lapide, so he false started. And Lapide and Dickman. Lapide wins it to the inboards. Petgrave rims it around. And Broadhurst trying to force it out, but can't. Stenell has it. Center point, shoots wide. Rebound off the side of the cage as there's 14 seconds to go. Bates looks to shoot from a sharp angle and a save made. And now the puck turned over to Terry Broadhurst. Out to center, a little too far from Moravec, but this will do it. 3 seconds, 2, 1. The puck skied back into the Fuel zone. Mitchell Weeks makes one last save on a 120-foot shot that bounced in. And the Indy Fuel victorious tonight as they win it 3-2 to cap off some late-night hockey here at the Fishers Event Center. The Fuel with their 3rd win in their last 4 games.
And Mitchell Weeks now only 1 win away from the all-time wins record.
We've also got more. Tonight was Duncan Del Mayo's 150th career victory.
Congrats, Dunks.
As the head coach of the Indy Fuel in the regular season. And also a little more here as the Fuel players salute the crowd here that has waited and stayed up late with us here at the Fishers Event Center, adding in regular season and playoff wins. That is Duncan Del Mayo's 151st victory. That moves him into a tie with Fred Creighton of the Indianapolis Checkers for the most all-time wins, regular season and playoff combined, in the history of Indianapolis hockey that dates back to 1939. So congratulations to Duncan Del Mayo with a couple of milestones tonight as the Indy Fuel win it 3-2. They built an early 3-0 lead early in the second period, then took a bunch of penalties in a row. Wichita took advantage, scored a couple of power play goals to make it close, but the Fuel did a great job, even though they took a penalty in the third, of battening down the hatches and winning this game 3-2. So the Fuel will improve to 25-18-9, and probably more importantly, they will move a couple of points clear of Bloomington, Cincinnati, and Kalamazoo that are all chasing him. The Fuel now with 59 points, and they are 5 points clear of Bloomington as the Bison are idle tonight. Matter of fact, everybody in the division was idle tonight
Everyone
except Indy.
is idle tonight.
Well, everybody's idle now, including the, with one exception. There's one other game, but that started in Rapid City at 9 o'clock, the same time ours did. So, tonight's number 3 stars. Christian Berger is the number 3 star tonight.
Was +2 tonight.
And had an assist on Cody Laskowski's game-winning goal. So, Christian Berger, the number 3 star. Mitchell Weeks with the number 2 star tonight as he